Okay, is this working now? I have no idea. I have no idea. I've never streamed on YouTube before. I think I got it to work though. Does this work? I actually cannot tell. I actually cannot tell. How do I see? Oh, it is working. Sick. Oh, it is working. Oh, let's mute that shit. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Here we go. Let's just do this. So the chat's not working. It just says something went wrong. That's great. Test 1, 2, 3. Sounds working. Sounds working. Okay, sounds working. The chat's not working on the screen. I don't know why. It just says something went wrong with a little monkey. I've never streamed on YouTube before, and it didn't work, so I fixed my stream on Twitch, and then I saw that I got it applied, like the application went through. I need help. I need help. I don't know what I'm doing. All works. It does work, but the chat does not work on the screen. I don't know why. Give me a second, and I'll see if I can fix it. The stream's not supposed to start until like 20 minutes, so I made myself some time to fix it. YouTube chat box. Why is this not working? What if I just delete it and do a new one? Give me a second. Give me a second. I want to have you on the screen. That's not what I was supposed to do. Well, I guess you get to see this now. This is supposed to be people watching, okay? So if I can get the thing to work. So I'm supposed to, let's see, pop out chat and then copy that. If I do this. Alright, type something now. That looks like it's working. Test 1, 2, 3. And did it work? Oh, it works! Wait, does it? I can't tell. I cannot tell. I don't think it's working. Ah! I hate this. I will get to all the questions in a second. I just want to try and get the chat up on the screen first. Why is it not showing? I can see your chats here. I just can't see them. I just don't get it up on the stream, you know? So that's what I'm waiting for. But it is not working. Aren't you supposed to just link this? I don't get it. It's a browser source. Ah, that's so annoying. I wish I could have it up. I really, really wish I could have it up. But I guess the chat in the stream, everything else is working. What to do, mate? Change construction from McLaren? I don't know. Maybe. I could do that. I could do that with 2 moves. I'm gonna get to all the McLaren and Red Bull talk. We're gonna do some live maths here on the stream, I think. So rank 3,730 only use the wildcard chip. That's really, really good. If you still have your limitless and your rank 3,700, you're in great shape. Though, don't use it in Austria. Be wary. The maths actually don't support using the limitless in for things like that. All right. Well, I get this. The chat's not working up here. I don't know why. I guess it's just gonna be blank for now. I'll fix it for the next stream. So, any questions you have, leave them in, or comment them now, and I'll sort of go through them a bit, I guess. But yeah, the maths behind it was F1 Fantasy Tools posted on Twitter that the maths don't support using limitless in sprint weekends. It worked in China because there were so many overtakes from the front positions, you know. But it's actually not optimal. It's actually not optimal. At least not for Miami. It wasn't. Perez, Stroll, Sargent, Hulk, Bottas, RB, and Ferrari to Leclerc, Stroll, Tsunoda, Hulk, Gasly, McLaren, Ferrari with wildcard. Those of you who have wildcards, it seems to be a good time to use it, honestly. Especially if Red Bull are struggling. We need to look at the let's look at the results for practice 3. Join live session. Yeah, I don't know. Is lap by lap out yet? No, I don't think so. It just talks about it. Yeah, Alonso hitting the barriers. I wouldn't go for Alonso on the wild card. I've seen some people with Alonso. I think Alonso's bad. I'm using OBS, and I thought it was just to add a browser thing and then pop out the YouTube chat and copy paste the thing, but it didn't work. But yeah, I'm just using OBS. Yeah. But yeah, I've seen some people with Alonso. I personally don't like Alonso. I think it's too expensive. I think it's actually better to just go for Stroll. Or if you're wildcarding and want to go crazy, Aston Martin maybe for their constructor. How do live leaderboard? I guess. Yeah, so Red Bull's been really far behind. I wasn't able to watch the FP3. I've just seen like the live updates pop up. How are Red Bull's actual pace? Like, is this indicative of where they're gonna be? If it was ended too early to get good data from, yeah. Quite unlucky. RB didn't race. Yeah. Huh. Mid tires. Medium tires. Yeah, I saw that the session was red flagged. Perez crashed out. Yeah. It's tough. We're gonna do some maths because, like, if this is where it's gonna be, so okay. Let's get to the biggest question. I think is like, should we switch to McLaren, right? And if I look at my lineup here, I could do a very quick and easy just get McLaren in. Where are they? Instead of Red Bull, and then Charles Leclerc, and those are my 2 free transfers. I think that's a good switch. It's a decent switch. But we need to discuss if the math is actually mathing. So, worst case scenario, I don't think Mercedes are going to be better than Red Bull. Even if Red Bull are bad, I don't think Ferrari and McLaren do look good. Yeah. I saw the debrief in the racing simulation, but I don't know how accurate those are. And IMOLA is pretty hard to overtake on, and if Red Bull are bad in qualifying, is a high racing is epic. Yeah, so I really want the chat to get the chat up above me, but I just don't know. I've tried everything I'm doing. I've looked up tutorials, but it's not working. I've never streamed on YouTube before. I streamed on Twitch like 3 years ago, but yeah. So the worst case scenario for Red Bull users, because I don't think McLaren or Aston Martin are going to beat Red Bull. So I think worst case is like You have Ferrari and McLaren ending 1 to like P1 through 4, and then you have Red Bull like P5, P6. Maybe like Paris is in a P7. So if we have, yeah, don't worry about chat. I can see you. I can see the chat at least. So worst case for Red Bull users is like McLaren. Like I'm pretty sure all people who are running Red Bull as a constructor are running Ferrari. I don't see how you afford Red Bull plus McLaren without completely destroying your team. So worst case is like McLaren go P1, P2, qualifying and race, and then Red Bull are bad, and like P5, P7, and even in like that worst case scenario, I think Red Bull are still going to get fastest pit stop points. Maybe not all of them, but maybe get like 10 or 13 pit stop points, somewhere between that range, somewhere between what would be like, I mean, at least 8. There's no way they don't get 8 pit stop points. Like, so somewhere between 8 and 13, maybe even up to 18. But somewhere between 8 and 13, 8 and 15 pit stop points. So the question is then, will the points difference, if you add on those fastest pit stop points for the Red Bulls, be worse? Like, how much worse will it be, essentially? Hi, Michael. So I should get. let's open some. Let's just open Paint. Let's open Paint. Okay, so let's do McLaren. Okay, McLaren. Norris wins. Let's say Norris wins. That's 25 points. When in doubt, use MS Paint. So McLaren gets 25 points for Norris winning, and then I don't think Piastri are going to get second. Even if McLaren are fastest, I think, like, worst case scenario, Piastri gets like a P3, right? So let's say Piastri gets 15 points, and let's say in qualifying they get the same, like nothing changes, so they get another 18 points for qualifying. And you can never really count on overtakes and things like that, but let's just say, like, this is what McLaren gets, and then maybe McLaren get, you know, the McLaren constructor. What's the bonus point for constructor both reaching? But Red Bull are both going to reach. So this is what McLaren gets, and then let's do Red Bull. Red Bull Racing. This is worst case scenario. This is what I imagine to be worst case scenario. So Max Verstappen's worst case scenario is P5. I don't see Max Verstappen being worse than that. There's no way. What do you get for P5? It's 15, 12. It's 10 points for P5, right? And then Paris gets like P6, right? That's 8 points. And then they get like 13 points for fastest pit stop. Do you think Matt should put? Yeah, I don't think they'll. I think Paris will be racing and qualifying. I don't think that will be an issue. Using Paint, when does fans do? Because I'm gonna use F1 fantasy tools, but right now I'm just crafting potentials, right? Let's see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, the crash wasn't too bad. It's just the front wing, so I think Paris will race for sure. So this puts McLaren. Let's do maths at 58 points. And obviously, there's going to be overtake points, and there's going to be points for fastest pit stops. Maybe McLaren gets some, but Ferrari are usually competitive in that position as well. And obviously, they get points for both drivers getting to Q3. But I think both McLaren and Red Bull are all gonna have all their drivers in Q3, so that's not really going to be a difference. This is just the difference between the two, right? And so the 18, and then for qualifying, they would be this is the fastest pit stop points, and then for qualifying it would be let's just say they are 5th and 6th, so that's 11 points. That puts it at 18, 19, 29, 32, 42 points. So worst case scenario, the difference between Red Bull Racing and McLaren, the difference will be like 16 points. And that's the worst case scenario. Yeah, but this is for the constructor. So Norris only counts for the driver of the day points if you have Norris as a driver. This is the constructor. You don't get driver of the day points on the constructor. So I think worst case scenario, we're looking for like a 16-point difference. And obviously, if Perez or Verstappen DNFs, it's way more than that, but you can never really count on that. This is if both teams finishes and, like, what's the worst case scenario? Because I don't see McLaren getting a 1-2. I think Ferrari are a bit too fast for that. I do think... And this is like Norris wins, Piastri gets third. They both qualify in those same positions. So, like, worst case scenario, that's, like, the difference. Budget change difference would be pretty big still, no? Yeah, yes, it would. For sure, it would be. Red Bull Racing would only increase like 0.1. McLaren at the minimum 0.3. But could definitely be. What's the... I can't remember. It could go up to 1 as well. So, there's a budget difference. But points-wise, it's like 16 points. Red Bull Racing is never increasing more than 0.1 or 0.2. That's like a guarantee. So, if you're running budget and, like, this could happen... And even if it's then even, I don't think I would take a -10 to remove Red Bull Racing from McLaren. Because I think again, I think this is worst case scenario. There's going to be a 16-point difference between Red Bull Racing and McLaren. And like a 0.7 or something difference in, or 0.6. A worst case, I guess a 0.9, like 0.9 budget increase difference. You can run RB and McLaren if you sell Stroll. You can also get charged for Sainz. Yeah. That's so my personal team. Let's get Paint out of here. My personal, if I'm getting McLaren in, it's this. And I talked about that in my transfer plans video that I could do this, but I wasn't sure I was going to. But Red Bull look worse than expected. So this is probably what I'm looking to do because I think I want Leclerc over Sainz. Though the best budget options like actually predicts it to be... can I get... I can't get Alonso in here. If you have like 111 million, the best team at 111 million was something like this. Where is he? Yuki Tsunoda. Value. I'm missing him. There you go. Something like this looks very strong according to F1 Fantasy Tools. But obviously, we're talking a lot of transfers right now. Although I can just do... I could get this in 2, but I don't think I want Alonso or Aston Martin like at all. So I could do this and keep Sainz, but I think I want Leclerc. And Lance Stroll is just budget king usually. So I think my potential transfer is Leclerc and McLaren. If I want to get McLaren in, that is, and just keep the cheap options. Let's just do this. Felipe says, I can afford Red Bull, Ferrari, Sainz, Leclerc, Show, Bottas, Sargent, or Ferrari, McLaren, Sainz, Leclerc, Hulk, Show, Mag. Check the second one is interesting for budget building. Haas hold their good quality position, and I'd be happy. Can you afford Red Bull, Ferrari, Sainz, and Leclerc? That's insane. That's a crazy budget already. Wow. That's honestly insane. Though you would have to pick Sargent. If you can afford that already, you're very, very rich. I would probably go for the Ferrari, McLaren option. It depends on how many transfers you're making. But yeah, that's... is it better to take Stroll or Ricardo? I don't know. I was thinking about getting Ricardo in. Obviously, his season points is extremely low, but he's been very unlucky. And you have to sort of think about Imola and Monaco as the 2 tracks with the least overtaking. Magnussen got the upgrade. I haven't looked into the upgrades. What are the Haas upgrades? Can someone remind me? My budget's 113. I'm not sure if that takes Sainz or Oscar. What's the rest of your team, if I may ask? Whereas using wildcard to get Ferrari and McLaren, it just might be. If you just joined the MS Paint calculations I made, this is like the difference between the McLaren and the Red Bull Racing constructor. This is Norris points. This is Piastri points. This is qualifying points. This is Verstappen. This is Checo. This is fastest pit stop. This is quali points. So this is like worst case scenario points difference. I think is gonna be like 16 points. So I wouldn't do a -10 for it. So I would consider using the wildcard for this for sure. Sainz vs Piastri, what would you pick? Probably Sainz. I don't trust Piastri in the race, personally. Leclerc or Oscar? Probably Leclerc. But yeah, it depends on what the rest of your team is. If you can afford, I mean like this. I guess I can also sort of afford this. I don't have my wild card, so this is not an option for me. But where's Logan Sargent? Something like this. Like if you're talking about Oscar or Leclerc here, I would say Leclerc. This is interesting. I do like this setup, but again, like Red Bull Racing, do we think Verstappen is going to be 5th? Is it like, even if he has a bad week, is he not just going to be 2nd or 3rd? I do think so. I don't trust Piastri in the race yet, compared to the Ferraris. I also think Verstappen is just going to be 3rd, and if he qualifies, like the predictions put Red Bull's racing pace still at the fastest. So if Verstappen qualifies in like 5th or 6th, and then just gets up to like 3rd, isn't that amazing for Verstappen owners? And since no one really has Verstappen right now, don't you just want Red Bull as a constructor, and then they get a bunch of fastest pit stop points, they sweep it? It's going to be a 2-stopper, right? Or is it going to be a 1-stopper? Stroll is crashing into Rick again? Probably. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Verstappen teams do build a lot of budget this season. Almost every cheap driver gets 0.5. Yes, that's true. The cheap drivers are hauling 0.5 right at the moment. I think that's a big fault of this season. And it's also why I think you don't have Williams right now, because, like, I don't trust the Williams drivers. If any drivers are going to get negative, all the C-tier drivers need is like a, what, 2-3 drivers to DNF, and they just, for free, get a 0.5 boost. Let's see, so I get to all the chats here. Goes almost same team as you, Leclerc, Hulk, Tsunoda, Stroll, Bottas, Ferrari, and not sure what to do, RB or McLaren. I'm also not sure. I'm also deep in the thinking tank on this one. I'm predicting double DNF, top 6 from a crash with the first 5 laps. I mean, if that happens, we're screwed. It's not. I think Verstappen will be on the podium. I also don't see Verstappen not being on the podium. I think Verstappen is gonna be on the podium. So I truly think that 16 points is like the worst case scenario, but like the difference between Red Bull and McLaren as the constructor. But obviously, if McLaren beat Red Bull to the constructor, they're gonna increase like 1 million. So it could be the last opportunity to have McLaren. That's also important. That's also. Cheers from Brazil. Hey man. Cheers from Sweden. Sunny Sweden. I'm wasting the precious sun. I don't think you guys understand. If you're not from the Nordics, we have like 25 degrees and like the sun's shining, and I'm sitting inside streaming Formula 1 Fantasy right now. We get this like a week in May and never again. So, how about Gasly and Ocon? I like Gasly and Ocon. I think there's just other things I want to put my transfers on now. But if you are what's it called? Wildcarding, I don't hate. I think Gas is just better than Ocon. Ocon's too expensive. I think I would want. I actually think I'd want Ricardo and Yuki over Ocon, just because the races we're gonna have right now. We have Imola and then Monaco. Very few overtakes on both these tracks. Also, if RB qualify battling game positions, exactly, they'll get overtake points. So we have to consider that for sure. Not worth, let's see, Musu says, not worth Max, Ferrari, Red Bull for this week. Honestly, I still think Max, Ferrari, Red Bull is still a great team. It's just, if Red Bull are not going to sweep it, maybe you don't want Red Bull, maybe you don't want Max. I still think Red Bull Racing is probably better than McLaren. It's just like, if McLaren beat Red Bull Racing in points, they're very likely to go up 1 million and end up at 25. And that's what I was going to say earlier before I got distracted by chat. If it could be a very solid like one race, let me just refresh this. It could be a very solid one race punt. If we think McLaren are gonna win in Imola, if we do, give me back Stroll. Where is he? If we're gonna do a one race punt, say I do this for this race, and then McLaren beat Verstappen and go either 0.3 up or 0.5, or it's either 0.3 or 1 million. It depends on how much they win, right? I just don't know, like, how much better are McLaren going to be than Ferrari, because if McLaren is worth it for the constructor, McLaren needs to be like 1-2. They need to beat Ferrari. They don't need if it's Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull, then the difference is not that great, and I think Red Bull are just close to it. Trickle Bosnatin, sorry for butchering your name. Hello Rain, if you have to choose Leclerc, Hulk, or Sainz, Tsunoda, what would you choose? Ooh, that's a really hard one. That's a really, really tough one. I think Leclerc, Hulkenberg. I think Hulkenberg just always gets into Q3. And especially for these two races coming up, I like Leclerc more. Leclerc looks to be back on the qualifying pace and has been better than Sainz so far this weekend. So I think it's honestly Leclerc, Hulkenberg over Sainz Tsunoda. But it's very, very close. It's very, very close. I think there's going to be crashes. Better to go for RB since they have more experience. I think the main thing you go for RB, because you can't really predict crashes, I think the main reason you go for RB is fastest pit stop. That's honestly the main reason. The thing with me going RB, yeah, if I'm going RB, I'm selling Stroll. If I'm sticking with RB, I think I'm getting Leclerc no matter what. And then I'm either downgrading Red Bull Racing to McLaren, or I'm downgrading Stroll to probably taking a punt on Ricciardo, or maybe just Magnussen. Did Magnussen get the Haas upgrades? Can we look this up? Hold up. Upgrades in IMOLA 2024. So what are the upgrades in Imola? We have Red Bull have a new front wing and floor. McLaren has bought circuit-specific changes. Oscar Piastri will be fitted with everything that Lando had. Alpine have an upgraded floor that will test Williams' new floor to target weight reduction. Haas is doing new front wing end plates, modified rear suspension, rear corner, while Stake has changed floor fences. I can't see if... I think Magnussen got the Haas changes, right? Rains on the forecast for Sunday too. God damn it. The unpredictability is a nice change and exciting. It is exciting, but I'm also like stressing. Like, okay, I'm exposing myself right now. Look at the sweat. This is me sweating over my over my fantasy decision. Haas got both upgrades in Miami. Okay. That's one tricky choice for sure. Red Bull, Ferrari, Verstappen versus Ferrari, McLaren, Sainz, Piastri is really considering it's two good drivers. It is very close. It is very close. But I honestly might go for the McLaren one just for one race at least. I do prefer Sainz over Piastri, yeah. I don't trust Piastri yet. If you're getting in Piastri as your second B-tier asset, then I like him. If you can afford... If you're on like your wild card, I'm on the wrong thing again. I'm poor, so I can only afford this. But if you're on your wild card and have more budget than me, something like this, like get Leclerc in there. If you can get anyone else, if you can get like this up to a yeah, I can't afford these kinds of teams without going Logan Sargent, and I don't have my wild card anymore. So I mean, this is not on the cards for me. But in this case, I like Oscar Piastri. I don't trust Oscar Piastri with the DRS boost. That's the key aspect. If you're going like, oh, do I go Piastri or Sainz, Piastri or Leclerc for the DRS boost? It's always the Ferrari drivers for me. It's always the Ferrari drivers for me. But as a second driver, I really like him. I think he's going to increase in price. I think he's going to have a solid weekend, maybe like a P4. Should I pick Stroll? It depends on if you have Stroll. I wouldn't go out and buy Stroll. I guess if you're on, if you're doing a wild card and you're doing this, and then picking other drivers, I think a Stroll isn't too bad, and then like Yuki and Hulk. I don't hate this at all. You can even I can fit in like a Danny Rick here. So I don't hate the Lance Stroll here, and that's like sort of what my team is looking like before transfers. So if you're doing your wild card, I would consider getting Stroll, just because you can afford it. If you don't want to go the Piastri Piastri Sargent route, I think like a Lance Stroll Yuki is better than Piastri Sargent. But I wouldn't buy Stroll for a free transfer this week. Sweating about such an important issue is understandable. Yup. It's also very hot at the moment. I have a Coke Zero, not sponsored, but I wish. Let's see, any other questions? Worth a wildcard. Ferrari, McLaren's, Sainz, Leclerc, Hulk, Show, Bottas. Oh. I mean, getting both Ferrari drivers is so juicy. It's so juicy. I wish I could afford that, honestly. It could be worth a wildcard. I just think... So we're talking a lot about Ferrari, McLaren right now. I still don't think Verstappen is going to be worse than third. And if he qualifies in fifth, overtakes twice, ends in, that's a solid point haul for Verstappen and Red Bull owners. And it's going to be a two-stopper, right? I mean, rain can also change that, obviously, but if there's going to be rain on tomorrow. So like Red Bull Racing just gets so many points. So I don't know. I don't know. Red Bull Racing or McLaren. The thing that's nice with McLaren, the positives with McLaren is budget. They're way better. They're probably increasing 0.3 million this weekend, whereas Red Bull is probably only increasing 0.1. And they do have the possibility to match or even beat Red Bull's score this weekend, especially if Norris wins. The downside is that Red Bull Racing are like... I think right now, if I were to bet who would outscore who, I think Red Bull Racing outscores McLaren, the constructor, just because of fastest pit stop points. But then again, budget. And with going with McLaren, the other bonus is that you can afford something like a Piastri, right? Or in some of your cases, if you have a lot of money, you can afford like this. I cannot. I'm poor, so I'm 1.2 million away. But like I'm on the poor side, so a lot of you could afford something like this. Though I would say I would probably have. I don't want to run Logan Sargent or Alex Albon. Williams just looks so bad. I think if you're making one transfer this week. If you're only making one transfer this week and you're sitting with Albon, I think you're selling Albon for Hulk or a kick driver. I honestly think you don't think about it. If your team right now is something like let's get the team going here. If it's something like what I have, but you have this. Say this is your exact team right now. And you don't have your wild card, or you don't want to use your wild card, and you want to save a transfer for Monaco, I think the one transfer you make is Hulk. Honestly, I think Williams are that bad. Any chips around only used limited. I'm not using any chips, but I think a lot of people are looking at wild cards. I definitely think wild card is on many people's radar. Let's scroll back up. I've missed some questions. How about Leclerc, Sainz, Hulk, Gasly, Guan Yu, Ferrari, McLaren? Looks really good. Looks really, really strong, especially since you don't have to have Williams assets. If you can afford that team, that's a really, really solid wild card. Again, are you selling Red Bull Racing? If you can afford double Ferrari driver, that looks really, really strong. It's really good to wild card before this race when we don't know what the pecking order. I agree. That is the thing. You want to sort of get ahead of the curve by going Ferrari McLaren, but since you don't know what the order is going to be like, but do you want to use your wildcard? What if you wildcard? But then again, okay, I'm changing. I'm very all over the place right now. If you have something like, if you wildcard into this, right? If you wildcard into a structure like this, and then you're sitting on, again, I can't afford this, but say you're sitting on Shogun Yu and Sargent, or even Gasly and Shogun Yu that I saw someone have. If you have this team, and it turns out the McLaren's bad and Red Bull's still the best team, you can, like, next week, you just 2 transfer, boom, and downgrade this to, like, a Stroll, and you're just good to go, right? So it's very, very easy to go back. So if you wildcard, I think it's safe to wildcard because it's so easy to switch back to Red Bull. The Ferrari McLaren lineup is so flexible. Is Stroll worth it? He lost a bunch of points last weekend. I don't think it's worth buying Stroll for one of your free transfers. If you're wildcarding, I prefer like... Okay, let's get these... Okay, I prefer, if you're going to wildcard to get McLaren in, I do prefer Stroll over Alonso, and I prefer Stroll Tsunoda over someone like Piastri plus Sargent, right? Stroll has been bad, yes, but usually he does rise in price, right? He has the only reason he's dropped in price is because he DNF'd. Both Saudi and Miami, he would have increased in price if he didn't DNF. So the only reason why he's dropping in price is because of DNFs. Is Stroll likely to DNF? Yeah, I mean, if you're betting money on someone to DNF, it's probably Lance Stroll, right? So I do think Stroll is worth it. I wouldn't go out and buy him. I might be selling him this week, but that's only because I'm poor. My cost cap right now is 0 million, so if I'm to do transfers upwards, I have to sell Stroll. But currently, like, my options, I'm just gonna leave these three. I'm not even gonna bother. I have Yuki and Hulk, and that's all that matters. I think either I go for McLaren, or I go for Leclerc plus Magnussen, Ocon. It could be Ricardo. Another cheap driver for Stroll, right? Stroll or Tsunoda for sure. I would, if you're choosing between Tsunoda and Stroll, I would 100% go for Tsunoda. I would also go for Hülkenberg. If you don't have Tsunoda and Hülkenberg, I wouldn't buy Stroll. But I'd say Stroll is probably the third best pick. Magnussen and Ricardo are also close. Yeah, Tsunoda for points, Stroll for budget. The thing with, like, Tsunoda's just gonna get budget if he gets points, right? So, But yeah, Lance Stroll is almost guaranteed to increase in price if it doesn't DNF. Also, I'm very sorry to everyone owning Tsunoda right now, because if you haven't watched my videos before, these are the points Tsunoda has gotten this season. I've had him for Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and China. I limitless here. I didn't own him for these two. So Tsunoda's DNFing this weekend, guaranteed. I'm very sorry. Magnussen or Gasly Ocon? It's close, but I think Magnussen still. I haven't seen enough from Alpine. And especially, like, Alpine has gotten points this season because of overtakes, mainly. And they aren't going to be able to overtake that much in Imola and in Monaco. And they still don't look that good in qualifying. So, I would probably go for Magnussen over the Alpine boys. So if you indeed have upwards of 111 million, 2 Ferrari drivers and Ferrari McLaren constructors, probably. It looks really... Like, if you're wildcarding this week and you're above 110 million, I would go for double Ferrari. Like, I would... That's actually the team I would select. And the reason for it is because if you're... This is like a wildcard team, right? Again, I cannot afford this, but if you're above 111 million, I would probably look to do something like this. And then... I don't know if I would trust Logan Sargent, but maybe even Logan Sargent. Because the thing with this team is that if it turns out you were wrong, and McLaren and Red Bull are still the fastest team, it's so easy to get McLaren back, Red Bull back over McLaren. And it's not like McLaren's going to be bad. Like, they're still going to get points. So, if you have above 111 million and you're looking to use your wildcard, I think the double Ferrari driver looks very, very powerful. Let's see. Minus 10 to get Tsunoda in? No. It's never worth doing a minus 10 to change your backmark drivers, your C-tier drivers. I would never do that. The points difference is not big enough. Even if you're selling like a Sargent, I still wouldn't. The difference in points is not that great. Tsunoda's not going to have another 26-point weekend. I had Tsunoda for the exact same race as you. Welcome to the pain train. Removed him before Miami. That hurts. I at least didn't remove him. I got his points increase, but I used my limitless. Thoughts on Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Sargent, Gasly with Red Bull, Ferrari? It looks weaker now that Red Bull don't look to sweep it, right? I still don't hate it, but considering you have to have Sargent in there, I don't know. I might look to sell Verstappen, but again, it's Verstappen, so it's hard to sell. Won't Alpine be strong in Monaco? I don't know. Will they? I think maybe if they qualify last and people in front of them crash, there's not going to be any overtakes. And they haven't been that strong in qualifying. So I guess it depends, right? If you have Hülkenberg and you qualify in 8th place, something like that, it's great. But if you have, like, I don't know, Albon who qualifies in 12th and then doesn't go up in the pecking order. 109.6 mil? Yeah, I mean, I'm lower than that. I'm like at 108 point something. 108.2. I'm so poor. It's so painful. Don't trust Stroll. I also don't trust Stroll. I don't trust Stroll, but I mean, I trust him to increase in price if it doesn't DNF. Do I trust him to not DNF? No. Linus or Linus says, I currently have Red Bull Racing, Ferrari, Perez, Tsunoda, Magnus, and Hulk Albon. Thinking I changed Perez for Leclerc and leaving it there. That looks really good. I think if you're sitting with Perez in your balanced team, I think you just sell Perez for a Ferrari and just sit back and just enjoy everyone else panicking. 107.7 mil in my main team. I'm having a stinker. Ooh, that's painful. That is painful. But it's not too late. But I would definitely focus on points and just hope the budget gets there. 106.5 is also sad. I'm rocking RB, Ferrari, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Show, and Albon. Think I'm good or something else. I would look to sell Albon. I would actually sell Albon for Bottas. Because I think Williams are just the worst. Show or Mag? Magnussen, probably. Why do you prefer Leclerc over Norris? Just because he's cheaper. I actually do think I prefer. It depends. It's very close. Again, I don't know. Ferrari were faster earlier in the practice sessions. The free practice 3 didn't really give us any information. I think Norris and Leclerc are very close. I think if Leclerc's winning, Leclerc's getting driver of the day. If Norris is winning, Norris is getting driver of the day. It's just Norris is cheaper, so it's easier to get, right? Where is Tsunoda? I could get Norris also instead of Leclerc. It's just Leclerc's cheaper, so it gives me more flexibility in the future. But I definitely like Norris as well. Norris is a great pick, fantastic pick. Have you considered fastest lap point in the McLaren versus RB? I have no idea. Like, fastest lap is so hard to predict because usually it's just whoever pits at the end. So I haven't looked into the fastest lap point at all. That's just, at this point you might as well roll a d6. You might as well just roll a dice. Or a die, and if 1 it's Verstappen, 2 it's someone else, 3 it's Norris, 4 is Leclerc, 5 is Sainz, 6 is Piastri. Like, it could be anyone. So I'm not even gonna take that into consideration. It's too much of a random. Should I switch to Red Bull for McLaren's? We've talked a lot about it. I don't know. I don't know. This is my quick MS Paint calculation of the worst case scenario. I think worst case scenario for Red Bull Racing owners is that they're 16 points behind the McLaren. And then the points increase, McLaren would probably increase either 0.3 or 1.0. And then Red Bull's probably increasing 0.1. So, yeah, I apologize for my terrible writing. But, yeah, this is like the difference. Worst case scenario, this is the difference between McLaren and Red Bull. And that, obviously, if Perez or Verstappen crashes, it's way worse, but you can't calculate that, right? If both McLarens and both Red Bulls finishes the race, worst case scenario, Red Bull's 16 points behind. So, let's see. Leclerc, Norris, or Piastri will take driver of the day. Sainz could also, I think, if anyone but Max Verstappen wins it, I think they're getting driver of the day. I think if Leclerc wins, it's driver of the day for sure. If Norris wins, his driver of the day. If Piastri wins, his driver of the day. So if Verstappen wins, it's probably either who ends in P2 or who like climbed from P7 to P3, right? So is a 10-point hit worth it for Red Bull to McLaren? No, I don't think a hit is worth it, because if, like, yes, you will gain a bit of budget, but usually it's just gonna be a 0.3. So the difference between budget increase between Red Bull Racing and McLaren is like 0.2. And, like, the points difference is only 16 points. Like, the actual points difference is only going to be 16 points, worst case. And this is if Verstappen ends in P5. And I honestly think, even if Red Bull are slow, I think Verstappen gets, like, P3 at the worst. Let's see. I'm a bit behind on chat, so I'll just try and speedrun some questions here. Verstappen, Tsunoda, Hulk, Mag, Bottas, Ferrari, McLaren. Looks really strong. Looks really, really strong. It might be what my team ends up being. Tsunoda, Sargent, or Gasly, Guan? Ooh, that's a hard one. Tsunoda's just obviously the best pick here. I think, honestly, Tsunoda, Sargent. Surprisingly. Even though I hate Williams as an option, I think Tsunoda's just that good. And you really, like, you want Hülkenberg and Tsunoda for these two races just because they're so good in qualifying. Thoughts on McLaren, Ferrari, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Magnus, Alonso, Bottas. I'm running low on budget. It looks strong. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are doing the McLaren to Ferrari switch. I don't know if I'm doing it yet, but I might be doing it for the budget. What is the best 3 drivers to complete double Ferrari combo for 22.5 million? Math is hard. I don't know what you can afford. I think the main ones is Yuki and Hulk. And then if it has to be Sargent after that, I think it's Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Sargent. I think the 2 best C-tier drivers to own right now for the 2 races coming up are Tsunoda and Hülkenberg. For sure. If Leclerc wins and goes up 1 million, you don't have to sell him straight away. True. Let's see. Is it worth having kick-sauber drivers with the Ferrari, McLaren, and 2 Ferrari drivers? Yeah, for sure. If you're, what do you recommend for limitless? Oh, I mean, it's it's the same discussion as this one. McLaren or Red Bull, I don't know. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. If you're limitlessing, I think you go for double McLaren, double Red Bull, no, double Ferrari, double Red Bull, and Norris. You skip Piastri for the driver. And then you probably go Ferrari, McLaren. I don't know. Have you considered RB ahead of McLaren and put another B-tier driver? Yes. That's in my crazy... yes. Okay. Well, I will talk about my crazy budget building team, which is like something like this, right? But that's crazy. I think that's only if you already have a big budget and want to try and get super far ahead in budget. But I mean, you might not need that big of a budget if Red Bull and if Red Bull or Racing are going to be bad and you want Ferrari, McLaren. Yeah, sorry that there's quite a few questions coming through right now, so I have to just skip through some of them. Kellandori says, I'm sitting with Red Bull, Ferrari, Perez, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Magnus, and Show. Do I swap Perez for Leclerc? Yes, I would swap Perez for Leclerc or Sainz for sure, and Show for Bottas. I would not swap Show for Bottas. I would just swap Perez for Leclerc and carry 1 transfer. I think if you're sitting on Perez, I think your super easy transfer is just sell Perez for Leclerc and just roll a transfer, and then you have 3 transfers for next week. Limited go with Ferrari boys, Max and McLaren boys with McLaren and Ferrari, maybe, yeah. It's also taking a -10 and swapping Perez, Ricardo, Red Bull Racing to Verstappen, Bottas, and McLaren. I wouldn't take -10s for that. If you have to for the budget, maybe, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth taking -10s almost ever. 20 pot hit for Ferrari Red Bull build? Absolutely not. I would... almost all questions regarding taking hits is a no. I'm on the fence with... Alison Gomez says... I'm on the fence with Leclerc, Stroll, Red Bull Racing versus Sainz, Piastri, and McLaren. Any thoughts? Ooh... I think Leclerc, Stroll, Red Bull Racing, but it's again, it's close. I don't know. I'm sweating. I'm exposing myself. I'm sweating so hard right now. Haas or RB? That's a good question. Probably Haas. Probably. But then again, I don't trust Magnussen. I mean, I should have trusted Magnussen earlier, but your writing is horrible. Thanks. It truly is. I'm running with my mouse. It's really bad. I think I made it through. Sorry for going through the questions quickly, but I think I'm caught up now. Tsunoda, Bottas, or Hülkenberg, Gasly? Oh, don't make me choose that. It's very even. It's a toss-up. It's honestly a toss-up. Probably Hülkenberg, Gasly, because I like Alpine more than the kicks. Main driver, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris. Yeah, one of those 3 probably. I think I'm going with Leclerc. I don't think I'm going Norris. I think I'm going Leclerc. Stroll to Tsunoda or carry 1 transfer. I would do Stroll to Tsunoda. If you don't have Tsunoda, I would do Stroll to Tsunoda. It's too soon to get rid of Red Bull Racing. I kind of agree. Again, my horrible writing aside, worst case scenario if all 4 Red Bull and McLaren drivers finish the race, I think worst case Red Bull is 16 points behind, and that's worst case. I don't know why I'm closing that down every time. I need to open it more. So I do agree that I think it's worse. I think it might be too early to get rid of Red Bull. But the budget increase of McLaren makes it so that even if you get the decision wrong, unless you took a -10, it's fine. Ferrari, McLaren, and Leclerc, Piastri. That's the thing. Like, if you can, because my team, the problem with my team is that I can't. If I'm getting McLaren, I cannot get Piastri here, right? I would have to make another transfer, and I'm not selling Tsunoda for Logan Sargent. So if you're wildcarding, I would consider it, but I wouldn't do 3 transfers like I just did to get the double here, right? So that's also the reason why I might not get rid of Red Bull Racing, because I cannot afford a second B-tier driver with my transfers. But I really like Ferrari, McLaren plus 2 B-tier drivers, especially if you can afford Sainz and Leclerc. I think that's incredibly powerful. Leclerc, Sainz, Hulk, Bottas, Gasly, Ferrari, McLaren, or Leclerc, Piastri, Hulkenberg. There's so many. Leclerc, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Gasly, Ferrari, McLaren, or Leclerc, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Sargent, Ferrari, McLaren. So Ferrari, McLaren is the same. What's the difference? Sargent, Tsunoda, and Piastri versus Sainz, Bottas, Gasly. So Sainz, Bottas, and Gasly versus Tsunoda, Sargent, Piastri. That's close because Tsunoda's way better. I think you honestly skip out on Tsunoda there and go Sainz and Hulkenberg and Gasly. Because I like Sainz over Piastri, I like Gasly over Sargent, so you just gotta skip Tsunoda, unfortunately. Yeah, I think with one additional transfer, I don't like the -10, but I do think Sainz, Bottas, and Gasly are better. Drivers or constructors are more important in terms of points. For sure, GG Man, yeah, Manchester United. For sure, constructors, and that's why I don't think you want to go for something like an RB unless you're going like full out budget building and don't care about points. The only reason you would go for a C-tier constructor is if you're like slamming your head against the desk going for budget. But then again, if Red Bull and if Ferrari and McLaren are the best constructors, you don't need budget anymore. Ferrari, McLaren, yeah, I mean Ferrari, McLaren. That's it. Ferrari, McLaren ? That is the big. I should make that the title of the stream. Ferrari, McLaren ? Ocon, Gasly, Rick, or Mag. Honestly, for these 2 races, probably Ricciardo. If Ricciardo put a P4 in qualifying in Miami, I don't hate going for Ricciardo right now. He's been not that great so far this season, but I think many people have sold him at the top of the leaderboards. He's still owned by what is it? He's still owned by 38% of people, but I think most of these teams are like lower down. So I think it could be quite a differential to go for Daniel Ricciardo here, and I'm actually considering it. If I'm not selling Red Bull, I don't want to have Sainz. I want to have Norris or Leclerc. So it's very possible that I buy Ricciardo this week because I have to sell Stroll, and then it's either Magnussen or Ricciardo, and I think I want to go for Ricciardo. I think this might be my transfer. We'll see. But 112 million. Oh, that's so good. Keshlin, do you have your wildcard available? Verstappen, Bottas, Tsunoda, Sargent, Albon, Red Bull, Ferrari. If you have your wild card and can get double Ferrari driver, Ferrari plus McLaren, I would probably do that. And even if that ends up being a bad move, you can just sell one Ferrari driver and Red Bull, or the McLaren, and get Red Bull back in. It's super flexible. So if Keshlin, if you have your wild card at 112 million, I would go for double Ferrari driver, Ferrari and McLaren. What do you think of going Norris just because nearly no one has him? So in case of victory, you would rank up. You would for sure rank up with Norris. I think it's so difficult to call. Leclerc is definitely more highly owned. I don't know. I think that the Norris and Leclerc difference is very close. The thing is with me, if I'm going for Lando Norris, I kind of then I have to go with Magnussen. I also don't hate this. You know, I still get the Leclerc points through the Ferrari constructor. So honestly, if I'm not selling Red Bull for McLaren, I might go for the McLaren, just to hedge my bets a bit. But that feels a bit of a chicken move. Gasly to Ricardo isn't worth. I think that's a decent move, but I wouldn't prioritize selling B tier drivers right now. I would prioritize doing McLaren moves. I think the biggest like one step moves right now is selling Albon to either a kick driver or to Hulkenberg or Gasly, any of those. So if you're sitting on Albon, I would consider selling Albon. And then if you have Checo, I would sell Checo for one of the Ferrari drivers. Those are like the main, just one transfer moves that are super easy to make. Watching F2 right now and 5 cars DNF'd. It's the first lap. Damn, I need to watch that. Oh, yeah, I'm streaming right now, so I've not been watching the F2. That's crazy. I will keep Stroll one more race over Tsunoda, hoping he will not DNF and get 0.5 or 1 million increase. You think Tsunoda will do much better than Stroll? Going for Stroll, hoping for budget increase isn't working. I think Tsunoda's better than Stroll, for sure. But then again, like, if on these tracks that it's hard to overtake on, I'm thinking mainly both for Imola and for Monaco. If Tsunoda just puts it P12 and then just finishes P12, he's kind of useless. That's why I sold him early in the season. So in that case, Stroll's probably better. But I mean, Tsunoda has a higher chance of just putting a P9 and just finishing P9. You know, which Haas driver would you choose right now? Hulkenberg for sure. For these two races, Magnussen probably before. If there's tracks with overtakes, I think Magnussen's better, just because he's worse at qualifying and will get a lot of overtakes. But for Imola and for Monaco, I think it's Hulkenberg. Wildcard or -10. Honestly, wildcard and make some more transfers. I would try and avoid hits. Again, if you're taking a -10, I'm bringing up the MS Paint again. Warning. The difference between Red Bull Racing and McLaren, worst case, if all cars finish the race, is probably 16 points. So -10 is probably not worth it. But honestly, like, you could take a -10. It's just, I'm very against -10s personally. But that's just because I hate negatives. Let's see, what did I miss? Celtic says Sainz, Ricardo, Hulkenberg, Albon, Sargent, and McLaren Ferrari. Sainz, Ricardo, Hulkenberg, Albon. Ooh, that's a low team budget, right? That looks pretty low. I guess you have to do that. Swapped Perez for Sainz and Red Bull for McLaren. I mean, it looks decent. It looks decent. I just don't like Albon, but I wouldn't take a -10 to get him out. Unfortunately, no wild card for Keshlin. What was your team? If you haven't made transfers yet, it's hard. Maybe you... I really want Hulkenberg on that team instead of Albon. If you have money in the bank, I would probably sell Albon to Hulkenberg and just stick, right? If you don't have money in the bank and you need to sell something, maybe you go... either you sell Verstappen to like a Norris or you sell Red Bull to a McLaren. But I think the main thing I would do, Keshlin, is get rid of Albon for Hulkenberg. That would actually be my main target. And if you can do that in one transfer, I would just stick with the rest of it and just save your transfers from Monaco. But if you need money, I would sell either Red Bull or Verstappen, either to McLaren or Norris, and then upgrade Albon. So that's what I would do, Keshlin. I feel like that's a pretty safe move because I just don't like. And honestly, if you're selling Verstappen, do I like Sargent more than Albon? I don't know. Maybe it's better to just have the money in the bank. If you're selling Verstappen to Norris, you're getting a lot of money, so you could sell Sargent to Hulkenberg instead of Albon. I don't know, but I just don't like Williams at the moment. Which kick driver? Probably Bottas because he's cheaper, but I wouldn't transfer them out. Let's see. Wildcard allows an extra swap as long as it's... wildcard gives you unlimited... You can swap 10 times if you want. But it's only once per year. I have 13.3 left in my second team. Should I do Ocon, Stroll, or Tsunoda? Probably Tsunoda. Do you think Norris is actually good? Yes. I think Norris... The best 2 times drivers this week are Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, and Sainz. So yes, Jetto. I think Norris looks really good as a second, but this could just as well be Leclerc. I haven't decided yet. I'm sweating over my decision and trying to look at you guys' decisions. So it's kind of rough. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching right now. I have no idea how many people are watching. I don't even have that up. 113 people. Wow. If you're watching right now, like the stream and subscribe. Thank you. That will help me a lot. I'm posting videos all throughout the season. I haven't done any self promo so far. Follow me on Twitter. I post about my team there and all throughout. So like and subscribe now if you're watching, and I'm gonna keep going through your teams. So thank you. Already did, no problem. Yep. Have you already used any coin for any chips, you mean? Yeah, I have used Limitless, No Negative, and Wildcard. So I've used 3 of my chips already. So I'm just sitting back and watching now, waiting for final fix. Triple DRS is probably not until later sprint races and things like that. So yeah, I used No Negative in China, and that worked really well. I saved like 50 plus points. It's one of the best No Negatives I've ever seen. I've seen one person get 1 more point saved from No Negative, so it was probably the best No Negative you could have gotten. I used Limitless in Miami, which I probably shouldn't have done, but considering my team, I couldn't get Verstappen in, so I was kind of stuck on it. And then I used my wildcard earlier because I had a pretty shit team and had been really... Oh, sorry for the swearing. I had a pretty bad team, and then I got pretty unlucky with budget, so I used my wildcard before in Japan. My no negative saved me so much. Yeah, my no negative in China was incredible. Actually incredible. Yeah. Don't forget to like the stream and subscribe. Laura says, or Iara, I can't tell if that's an L or an A, L or an I. Is Leclerc, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Bottas, Tsunoda, and Ferrari, Red Bull a solid decision? Yeah, it's really, really solid. I really like that team. Isn't that exactly what I'm gonna go for? I think. Okay, so that is definitely on my cards. Like, this is a very likely team that I'm gonna be rocking. Very likely. I haven't decided if I'm selling Red Bull for McLaren yet. Calvin says A, Leclerc times 2, Ocon, Tsunoda, Hulk, Mag, or B, Norris times 2, Tsunoda, Hulk, Ocon, Sargent. So you're basically saying Norris times 2 or Norris times 2, Sargent, or Leclerc times 2 and Magnussen. I think Leclerc times 2 and Magnussen. I think Sargent's bad. And the problem with Sargent is that if he decreases in price, you're just going to be stuck with him. You can't switch between them. Still all chips left. That's really powerful. I'm probably making a full-on Limitless video when we're getting closer to Austria. So look out for that. I wasted my no negative in Japan when my team didn't even lose any points. No, I mean, you can't know. I think the no negative you should definitely use in a sprint race, because the new no negative chip from this season onwards just benefits from having 2 races, right? So for next year, if the no negative chip stays the same, where did my quality go? For next year, I would save the no negatives for the sprint races, because there's 2 races they can DNF in. Red Bull for McLaren, I don't know. Again, I've already talked about it, but honestly, the title of this stream should be Red Bull or McLaren, because I think that's what's on everyone's mind, and I haven't decided yet. Cheers, Calvin. Cheers, Calvin. Let's see. Pablo says, using wildcard, my final team is Leclerc, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Ricciardo, and Ferrari McLaren. Would you change something? What's your team budget? Can you fit the Leclerc sign? Can you fit the double Ferrari driver? Because I might consider it. But like, that team looks really strong. The team looks really strong, and it's very easy to get Red Bull back in if that ends up being the case, because I think no matter what, like, McLaren is definitely rising in price unless they both crash out. Limitless on normal weekends is crazy. I honestly cannot believe that racing is epic. I cannot believe that that's the case, but like, the maths check out. So I'm gonna make a full Limitless video when we get closer to Austria, for those who haven't used it yet. Let's see. Would you go -10 transfer to remove Red Bull for McLaren? No. So the reason I wouldn't do a -10, this is my badly drawn calculation for the difference between McLaren and Red Bull constructor. I think Worst case scenario, if all drivers finish the race, is that McLaren beat Red Bull by 16 points. And either by 0.2 or 0.9... let's make this dot a bit more clearer. Either 0.2 or 0.9 increase in budget. So I wouldn't do a -10 to change that, because this is worst case. This is if Verstappen ends up being P5, by the way. So this is worst case scenario. I think it's much more likely that Verstappen ends up being like P3 if Red Bull are bad. So I don't think it's worth doing a -10. The best Stroll alternative, Tsunoda and Hulkenberg, probably. I think right now the best C-tier assets are Tsunoda and Hulkenberg. Use Limitless in China. Yeah, I mean, Limitless in China was so unbelievably good, but the no negative was great as well. So yeah, thanks to you. Yeah, that video did some numbers. I think it got like 4K views. I think it's my most viewed video. What rank are you? You can see it above me right now. It's my overall rank is 21,000, so not a great starting rank, but it's getting better. I was pretty unlucky the first like 2-3 races of the season. I'm trying out the crazy budget building strategy on my third team. Hope it will produce some interesting results. It's good to try on the third team for sure. I think it's very, very interesting. If you haven't seen it, it might be too late now. It's a 30-minute long video, but like the last like 10 minutes of my last video that I posted for the best teams in IMOLA, and that did not even talk that much about Ferrari McLaren, by the way, because that was before IMOLA practice, so I didn't even know that Red Bull were going to be that bad. I knew Ferrari and McLaren were going to be better, but I didn't know Red Bull was going to be so far behind. If those of you who don't know, the budget building team is going Ferrari plus like either RB, Haas, or if you're wildcarding something like an Aston for one race, basically any good C-tier constructor to just pray for those plus 0.5 or plus 1.0 increase, and just try and build as much budget as possible up until Austria. The problem with that team now is that if it turns out the Red Bull aren't the clearly best team anymore, having this, I've already shown this a few times. But you don't need that much budget to run a team like this. I can't afford it, but if you're like 112 million, you can already afford this. Like, that's not that far away. So the point with going a crazy budget building strategy is to get to this team, but with like Verstappen and Red Bull, right? But if Verstappen and Red Bull are bad, you just want the two Ferrari drivers and like McLaren here. So you don't need that much budget. So in that case, the crazy budget building might be worse. It might be better to just get the McLaren constructor immediately. Who's only considering McLaren over Red Bull because you think Perez might crash again? I mean, that is definitely a possibility, for sure. I'm talking so fast. I need to calm down. Jesus Christ. I need to buy a fan or something. It's so hot right now. I'm sweating my balls off. I'm dripping sweat. Let's see. Edwin T says Sainz, Piastri, Tsunoda, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Ferrari, and McLaren. Great team, fantastic team. I love the dual teams, the dual B-tier driver teams with like Sainz, Piastri, or something like that. If you have the budget for it, I don't hate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe right now. Liking the stream helps a lot, so it's real quick. I live in Sweden, so usually it's not hot, and right now it is sweating. It's cooking me alive. I'm sitting inside on a beautiful day. I'm committing the biggest Swedish sin, which is not being outside when the sun's shining. Let's see. Lockie says Norris or Leclerc. It's a 50-50 decision. I'm also deciding on that right now. I have no idea. I have no clue. Also, if you're wondering why there's a black box above me, I was supposed to get the chat up there, but I couldn't get it to work. So I'm just reading the chat right now. So I'm very sorry that you can't see yourself chatting above me. In Australia, our summers get up to 40 plus. Death. I would die on the spot. But the European, there's been a big discussion right now. Someone that like lives in some hot place is like, oh, 40 degrees, I'm used to that, and then gets a 25 degree in Europe. The problem with European heat is that our buildings are not made for the heat, so it keeps the heat inside, and we have no AC at all. I'm sweating right now. Okay. Norris and Leclerc better than Sainz? I think so. I think Norris and Leclerc are better than Sainz. Again, my transfers are... I'm probably selling Sainz this week. Pablo Alonso says, I can fit 2 Ferrari drivers with Ferrari McLaren, but I get Show, Bottas, and Sargent, putting only Leclerc. I have Tsunoda, Stroll, Hulkenberg, and Ricciardo. If you can only fit the if you can't even get like a Hulkenberg in there, I would probably not go for the double Ferrari yet. It could be something to get in the future, but I would probably stick with like Tsunoda, Stroll, Hulkenberg, and Ricciardo. Actually, would I even do that? I think honestly, since like it's gonna be Monaco, right? These C tier drivers are gonna be ass. They're just gonna like, if you take someone like an Albon or like even Tsunoda, if Tsunoda just gets P12 in qualifying and then just ends the race in P12, no positions gained, like 1 overtake, what's the point? He's gonna decrease in price. In that case, you might as well have Sargent. I think it's very likely that we see a lot more decreases, like price decreases in the coming 2 races. Right, like so far this season. Wait, let me open F1 Fantasy Tools. Let's look at the points. Asset info, right? No. Race results. Ignore the ads. Alright, let's see. Price changes. So there haven't been that many price decreases so far this season in each race. So if we just like, in Bahrain there were quite a few, and like this is what I usually would expect. In, let's see, Bahrain we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm only talking drivers now. 7, then 6 in Saudi. Then we had quite a few in Australia, but that's because there were so many crashes, right? Japan, there were only 6. China, there was only 5. And Miami, there were only 3. So in China and Miami specifically, there were very few. I think it's very likely that we see 6 or even 7, or perhaps up to like 8, 9 price decreases in Monza and Monaco. We've been very spoiled with price increases for our C tier assets recently, and I think that's coming to an end. So don't be upset if you get a lot of price decreases. I think it's very, very likely that our cheap assets are going to decrease in price in the coming 2 races, which is why it might be really good to go for like a Sainz Leclerc build right now, even if you had Sargent, Bottas, and Show, because like if all the cheap assets are going to decrease in price, or all but like 1 and 2, if it's like Austria, where you had you had 9, right? Or you had 8, and then Sargent didn't change in price because it didn't race. So if all of these drivers are going to decrease in price, how many? You only really had like Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Magnussen increasing in price, and then Stroll. So if all our cheap assets are going to decrease in price, you might as well run Leclerc, Sainz and hope they increase by 1, right? Let's see. What else do we have? 19 with a little rain. That sounds very pleasant right now. It's like 25 at the moment here. Verstappen or Leclerc? Probably Leclerc, just because you can upgrade the rest of your team. Would you swap Perez and Show for Leclerc and Rick? Or leave Show? I think, again, with those cheap assets, they're so hard to predict that you might just want to do Perez to Leclerc and call it a day. Let's just not do anything else. But if anyone's going to increase in price, it's the V-Carb and the Haas's. So, honestly, it's a good transfer. I really like it. Do you recommend Wildcard? And if so, what would you advise? From sunny South Africa. Gina, I would say Wildcard looks very strong right now. The reason for it is that even if you don't know how the top 3 teams are going to line up, you can get something like a Sainz Piastri, Leclerc Sainz team with Ferrari, McLaren constructor, and it's very, very easy to just switch back to Red Bull Racing after if it turns out that Red Bull Racing is still the best constructor to own. Because I think McLaren are likely to rise in price even if they don't get that much points. So even if your decision was incorrect on the wildcard, I think if I had wildcard, I would probably use it right now and get McLaren in. You only decrease on a sprint weekend if you DNF more or less. Yeah, pretty much. Here in Spain, you have pretty good weather. I mean, the weather right now is amazing here in Sweden, but it's very, very hot and I have no AC, so... African Beauteous says, I'm new at this. First time playing fantasy and doing transfers. I messed up my switches. I had Hamilton, Merck, Ferrari, Norris, Sargent, Hulkenberg. I think I'm switching the 2 Mercedes. I agree 100%. I think you're bang on with that. It's probably you downgrade Hamilton to something like a Tsunoda, and then you upgrade Merck to McLaren. Have I said Mercedes instead of McLaren a few times? I probably have. If so, ignore me. Mercedes are bad. Mercedes is probably the worst asset in the game right now, and I'm not even joking. All this hope and Max will still win by 20 seconds. Yes, Jacob, that's so true. All this and the Verstappen is just going to win by 20 seconds. Oh my god, it's actually so true. Our high in Florida today will be 35. Pain. At least you have AC. Ben says, what do you think about Verstappen, Tsunoda, Bottas, Sargent, Hulkenberg, Ferrari, Red Bull? I'm getting a headache from all of these options at the moment. Okay, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Bottas, Sargent, Hulkenberg, Ferrari, Red Bull. RB, is that Red Bull or Racing Bulls? I need more information. Declan, I also have a headache. My head. I'm trying to focus on my team. I have what I have. I have an hour. Okay, I have an hour to decide. I really wish I could fix the chat. I really wish I could get that up there. Anyway, do I go Leclerc and Sainz or Leclerc and Piastri? Leclerc and Sainz if you're wildcarding, for sure. For sure. Red Bull Racing. Yeah. Where was the team? Ben. Verstappen, Tsunoda, Bottas, Sargent, Hulkenberg. It's a good team. That's like the ideal Meta Plus team. It's just, are Red Bull going to be strong? I think it's really strong. I think we're talking a lot about McLaren being strong right now, but I mean Verstappen can still always win. So it's a really, really powerful team. It's a really, really powerful team. Especially since you have Tsunoda and Hulkenberg with Verstappen and Red Bull Racing. You're living my dream. You're actually living my dream. I wish I could afford that. I can't even afford Verstappen, Ferrari, and Red Bull Racing right now. Still so unsure about swapping Red. Same Celtic. I'm so unsure. I think everyone's in the same spot. I think I'm leaning more towards not swapping and then just waiting it out. But again, the budgets, it feels safe to swap it as well. I just don't. Do I like Lance Stroll? How good were Aston? I haven't even looked at the final results. I know we didn't learn much from the RB from the free practice 3. Sorry. The wait is on. Let's see. Imola. Let's find this. So we had practice 3 results. Where was Aston? Yeah, Alonso crashed out, right? Behind Ocon, but again, we don't know. Max was fast on medium tires before everyone went on the softs. That's good information. I'm not brave enough for the Red Bull to McLaren switch. Honestly, it might work out. Again, we're talking about it like it's the end of the day, but it's only going to be a 16-point difference. It's not going to be that big. Again, worst case scenario. I still think I mean, we're talking about all this. I still think Max Verstappen is going to win. Stroll will DNF this week. He struggles on the high skill tracks. Possible, very possible. What's your fantasy league name? I actually don't have a fantasy league. I should make one, right? Should we do one right now? Create league. Create public league. Rain Fantasy. I don't know if I made one actually. Did I make mini? That's my featured leagues. I don't think I have a league. Okay, let's make one. Let's make a league. I don't think I have one, so let's make one right now. Rain Fantasy. 2024 league. Unlimited participants. Number of teams per user, 1. Select. This is my... Ignore this one. Create league. There we go. Alright, so my league code right now, it is... Let me put that in chat. So join the league right there. The league code, if you're just looking for that, league code is this. There you go. So join the team, or join the league. I have no idea what is this. Is this? Oh yeah, this is my money league. Oh, that. Why is it called this? I'm destroying my money league, by the way. Destroying my money league. So far ahead. Yeah. So join the yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So join the league. And let's see if you beat me. You probably will beat me. I've had a pretty bad. Will this only count points from now on, or no? Okay, yeah, we're so let's see. Let's look at your teams. 1558. Whoo. Yeah. I'm currently second last in my own league. That's maybe let's delete the league. I don't want to show everyone that I'm bad at this. Hey, I've been unlucky, okay? I've been unlucky. This is by far the most stressful deadline. I'm sweating. The non-Verstappen league, we're doing so crazy. Yeah, I mean that's a cool idea, but right now, it's looking like Verstappen might be a differential. I like a no Red Bull league. We had that last year. Yeah, so join the Fantasy League. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I will keep doing videos all year, all season. I have a lot of cool ideas coming up. I just need to find the time to make them. Don't delete it. I will make you third last. I started on the 5th race. Thank you. Thank you. That's funny. 3 weeks in hospital, didn't make my team. I suck. Nah, I mean, if you're in hospital, you can't blame yourself. Welcome. You still have wildcard. What should you do? What's your, what's it called? What's your team value, MotoG? What is your team value? Yeah, ignore my second team. That was just an experiment I did. Please check your options up there. I think I did. Did I miss it? Okay, I also think I could do... Yeah, sorry, African Beauteous. I missed that one. Also think I could do McLaren, Ferrari... Language is difficult. Also thinking I could do McLaren, Ferrari, Sainz, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Bottas, still get a -10 hit. Would want to remove Sargent, but don't think he's worth the -20. No, definitely not. I'll only have a seat. Yeah, and I'll only have a seat driver. So McLaren, Ferrari, Sainz, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Bottas. It looks pretty good. What was your team before? Oh yeah, you were the one who had the Mercs team. You do, since you have your wild cards, I honestly might consider the wild card for you, African Beautyist. Because I would 100% sell Hamilton and Merc, and if you want to use some of the funds to upgrade Sargent, things like that, I definitely like that for sure. So I don't hate the wild card for you, African Beautyist, at all. A Red Bull instead of Ferrari. Ooh, a Red Bull McLaren could be interesting. Yeah, you have the world is your oyster. But I would definitely sell Hamilton and Mercedes. You're ranked 31 in my league or in oh, in my league. Okay. Unlucky. What am I like? 29. Oh, you're leading a league. Nice job, Mel. Team this week's from Ciaran or Ciaran. Leclerc, Piastri, Bottas, Sargent, Tsunoda with McLaren, Ferrari, wild change-up. It looks good. I definitely like that. Where do I find that? I have... so basically what you do, Moto, the only way to see your full team value is just to delete everything. You just X everything out, and then you see what your overall cost cap is. If you're like on 111 million, I would probably do 2 B tier assets, and B tier assets are everything between 15 and 25 million. So if you're on like 111, I would look to something like this. What's the minimum you would need for this team, by the way? I actually don't know. Let's check it right now, because I think if you're wildcarding right now and you can afford McLaren plus Ferrari here, so I'm only 1.2 million away. So if you're just slightly above me and you're using a wildcard, I honestly, okay, and then you would have DRS on Leclerc. I think this is the best team you could wildcard in right now. And obviously, if you can switch out any of these drivers, if you have more money for, I mean, Hulkenberg is the cheapest one. So like, say instead of Show, you have a Hulkenberg. If you can do this team and then Ferrari here, I can't. But if you can do this team on a wildcard, I think that's the most powerful team right now. Because even if Red Bull Racing are really good, it's super easy to switch back. You just sell Sainz and McLaren, get Red Bull Racing and like Stroll in, and you're fine. So I think if you're wildcarding this week and you have a decent budget, I think that's the team for sure. Let's see what I missed while I was talking about that. Would you wildcard if you to have McLaren, Ferrari, Leclerc, Alonso, Show, Logan, Bottas? That's all I can afford. I would skip out on Alonso. I think Alonso's a pretty bad asset. I would actually run Stroll over Alonso. I think like the worst assets in the game right now are Alonso and the Mercedes. And then as soon as Aston Martin, the constructor, hits 15 million, it's up there as well. I think those are the worst assets in the game. And then, obviously, like, Williams and Kick Sauber constructor are really bad as well. Let's see, what else do we have? So yeah, Victor, I with 105.8 million, that's a rough value range. But I wouldn't have Alonso. I like McLaren, Ferrari, Leclerc, Show. But maybe, like, instead of Alonso, you do, like, instead of Alonso and Logan, you do, like, Tsunoda and Hulkenberg. I think I would do that instead. I would definitely have that over Alonso. So that's what I would do with your team. 109.4, 107.8. Yeah. Moto, you're the one who... Yeah, so 107.8. I mean, it's not awful, right? But it's not great. You can probably afford, like, a Piastri team. But I don't know if I would do that. I would probably look to do something similar that I was doing. I would probably do something like this and just take the best ones, right? You do a really, really good balanced team. So, since you have a bit less money than me, you could do like this. Like this looks really, really powerful. I think this, or you could, I think you can even afford Norris here if you want. So, it's up to you whether you prefer Norris or Leclerc. With that budget, but I think something like this would be very powerful. That's probably what I would go with the Moto with your money. Please, when it's the deadline to manage my team, can't seem to make changes. That's unfortunate. You have 56 minutes. The deadline is right here on the screen. So you have 56 minutes to make changes. Gordon, would you switch out Max for Charles? I have Ferrari and Red Bull as constructors. I think probably yes, but it depends on what other options you have. If you can... the reason I would change Verstappen to someone like a Leclerc or Norris is to upgrade other things, such as a Sargent or an Albon. All in Ferrari and Haas, yep. What is the best? Let's see, Declan. Can you show your league's leaderboard? Of course I can. Let's see. Mini leagues, public leagues, starter leagues. Where is it? So global, no, classic, public. Where do I find my leagues? Featured leagues. Where do I find my league? What do you mean? Wait, where are my leagues? where are my leagues? I can't find them. Rain. No data found. Here we go. There we go. Okay. I should pin this one. Where do I pin this? Okay, honestly, this website sucks for showing leagues. I don't understand why, like... why you have to go here to see your global rank. It's so weird. Like, this should be on the front page. Like, the league system in this game is so bad. Alright, but here, we have my pins. So, This is the leaderboard. I'm 26th out of how many? Oh, that's quite a few people here. I'm not lost. Okay. Out of 50, out of 41. Okay, so I'm bottom half. But Jesse Jutjärvi, you finished probably. Jetto, you are first in the league. Nice job. I don't have a prize yet. I guess I'll think of something to do. I don't know. I am half Finnish, actually. I don't know Finnish though. Actually, that's a lie. I'm a quarter Finnish, but I'm bottom. Oh no. Hey, don't feel bad. If you didn't start like race 1, it's gonna be very hard to win leagues like this. Yeah, wildcard into double Ferrari. You are gonna keep climbing, my friend. You're gonna keep climbing for sure. That looks great. I wish I was in your spot. Private classics. Why is it? But it's not a private league. It's a public league. Anyone can join it. So I don't know why it's private. Why is a public league that I created under private? That makes absolutely no sense. Stupid system. Stupid system. What a silly system. Any interesting news? Should I go to Twitter? I'm gonna pull Twitter over here in case there's things that should not be shown. Can I show this? Oh my god, I don't know if you guys know Yuan FPL. He has a channel on YouTube. We're mutuals on Twitter. I was like, I'm gonna open Twitter on my second monitor just in case there's something weird here. And the first thing that comes up is this meme. That's so funny. Oh damn, you're gonna make me wildcard. That's so funny. Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, let's look at some... Are there any interesting news on Twitter? That's actually so hilarious. I mean, not really, but like, I just follow other FPL and F1 creators and a few other murals, but like, that this is the first thing that comes up is so funny. Oh my god. Oh, that's so hilarious. I cannot believe... I'm happy I pulled it over. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Any information? Any fun things? I mean, I do follow a lot of politics, and there could be very, very terrible things from Gaza. I don't want to show that on stream, so that's why I don't want to scroll through here. So I guess that's technically not safe for work as well. Oh, let's see. Nothing that I can see. Why choose Danny Rick? He's got 1 point. Well, he has 1 point, but he's also been very unlucky. Let's look at Daniel Ricciardo. I actually think Daniel Ricciardo is a good pick. Here's why. The reason Ricciardo has been so bad is because he DNF'd in Japan and he DNF'd in China. In China, he would have had a good point score if it wasn't for the DNF in the race. And he was taken out. That was not his fault. He was taken out by Stroll, if you remember. So that's why he has 1 point. Obviously, he was bad in Saudi. He wasn't even that bad in Bahrain. He had 8 points for a C2 driver is good in Australia. He had a great showing in Miami. So I think the reason why Ricciardo looks good is because VCARB's upgrades look decent. And for the 2 races coming up, he showed that he could put that car P4 in a qualifying session. And in races where overtaking is difficult, IMOLA and Monaco, I think Danny Rick could be a really strong pick. So I'm thinking of taking the -10 hits since I won't win the league anyway and switch up to 2 Mercs. Final lineup, Red Bull, Ferrari, Sainz, Hulk, Tsunoda, Soren, Bottas. Save the wildcard for another time. Looks good. I do think like other times to use the wildcard, like the wildcard is not that valuable. If you're used to playing Fantasy Premier League or something like something similar, the wildcard chip is way more valuable there because you have like 15 players, right, in Fantasy Premier League. So you need so many transfers to make changes. So the wildcard is so valuable there because you have to time it correctly. In this game, since you get 2 free transfers every week, and you can save and have 3, like if I have 3 free transfers, that's half my team gone. So the wildcard is actually not that valuable. So even if when you know you're taking a -10, and especially you, since you might want to do the Sergeant, I honestly might just pop the. You want to sell Sergeants as well. I honestly might just pop the wild card and do the Sergeant transfer too, because you can usually navigate the rest of the season with free transfers. Ricardo or Sonoda, I think Sonoda looks better. So I think Sonoda looks better. But yeah. So because you get 2 free transfers and you can also save to have 3 free transfers, the wild card is not as powerful in this game. Simal says, what should I do with 109.5? Already had Red Bull, Ferrari, Verstappen. Do you have Hulkenberg? Do you have Sonoda? Those would probably be my priorities there. Alrighty, I've done my changes. Fingers crossed. Hope this goes well. I also need to do my Okay, I've been focusing a lot on your guys' teams so far. Do you think Ferrari McLaren constructor is viable? Very viable, Holy. Very viable. And if you're wildcarding, I think that's pretty good to go for, because you can switch it back. I've done you guys' teams quite a bit. If you have more transfers, more questions, I'll try and get to them. Ferrari McLaren with Sainz and Leclerc, it's probably the best team right now. Mortals. It looks very, very powerful for the two, especially because it's Imola and Monaco. So if you're on like 111 million and you're wildcarding, even if you aren't considering wildcarding, I would consider wildcarding to get Ferrari, McLaren, Sainz, and Leclerc. If you're on like 111 million cost cap. Is Leclerc just as good as Norris for the ×2? It's even. It's very even. My private league is banned using Red Bull, including Max and Checo. I mean, checks out. I know a lot of people did that. That's why you have multiple teams. I went for Leclerc, Sainz, Hulk, and Bottas. Let's go. Nice, Jetto. Nice. Stroll probably gonna crash or beach it with a tight circuit. Very, very possible. That's maybe my priority should be getting rid of Lance Stroll and not selling Red Bull Racing. Do you think Ricciardo to Stroll is worth it? No, I don't think that's worth it. I think Ricciardo actually looks pretty good this week, and in Monaco. All right. Joe Clark says Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Hulk, K-Mag, Haas, Ferrari. Thoughts, please. Haas, Ferrari is very daring. Very daring. I salute you. Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri. I mean, I would probably try and go for the McLaren constructor over the Haas, but if you're going full budget building, I don't hate it. What lap do you think Stroll crashes tomorrow? I will say lap 12. Lap 12. Show or Albon? Show, for sure. I think Williams look absolute crap. Worth a -10 to get rid of Sargent? No, I don't think it's worth a -10. Who are you selling him for? Like, is Hulkenberg gonna get, like, Sargent could get like 3 points, and then is Hulkenberg really gonna get 13 points? Probably not. All right, I actually have to focus on my team now. I'm very sorry. You can leave your comments. I will try and get to them, but I actually have to think about my decision now. So I think these 4 assets are staying the same. I don't think anything's happening to them. The question is, what happens over here? Do I sell Red Bull for McLaren? I think the answer is no. I think I'm staying with Red Bull for now. Oh, but if McLaren increases one whole million. Oh, the thing is, if like once McLaren reaches 25 million, they're worse. Like they're just strictly worse than Red Bull. So maybe it's like maybe I just run McLaren for now, and but then I probably keep Stroll. All right. I'm not taking a -10. Oh, thanks, said. I don't know. Said. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. Tricatello, no way to what? No way to selling Red Bull. Like McLaren, once they reach 25 million, is gonna be worse. So now might be the time to get them, right? Even if they're gonna be worse than Red Bull. I'm talking myself into the Red Bull to McLaren move. But if I'm doing that move, I'm keeping Lance Stroll. So it's either Leclerc and it's either Sainz and Red Bull to Leclerc and McLaren. Leclerc and McLaren. That's hard to say. Or it's we're keeping Red Bull and selling Stroll for anyone. Mag or Ricardo. I'm just a Magnussen hater. I hate that he's been this lucky. I think the biggest change that F1 fans needs to make is that they need to reduce the negative for DNF. They need to make the DNF like minus 10 or 15. And they need to give negative points for penalties. Gasly is looking good, I agree, Matt, but I'm not getting him this week. Breach of sporting code after FP3. Really? I've not seen that. If you have any news that I've missed while doing the stream, because I've not been keeping up to date with if things have been happening. Do you think Sargent is too risky? No. I mean, if you have to have Sargent, then you have to have Sargent. Magnussen might actually get a race ban yesterday. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter for F1 Fantasy. You just sell him that week, right? So it doesn't really matter. Gasly or K-Mag? I think K-Mag. Ricardo or Magnussen? It's close, but I actually think Ricardo. I mean, that's what I'm deciding, right? I'm deciding to go for either Magnussen or Ricardo here. If I'm not selling Red Bull, it's either Ricardo or Magnussen. And like Magnussen has been good because he does overtakes. Well, Magnussen's not going to do overtakes in Monaco, right? But then again, will Ricardo? If he qualifies in P4, he's going to have a great time in Monaco. I think the reason why I want to go for Ricardo here is that I can just see Ricardo just putting it P8 on qualifying in Monaco and then just end P8 as maybe someone crashes up in ahead and he ends like P7 and gets driver of the day for that reason. So I kind of like Danny Rick. If he does like a P4 type of performance like he did in the Miami Sprint in either Imola or Monaco, he's for sure getting driver of the day. For sure. Why Leclerc over Norris budget? Yes. So the reason why I really like Norris here. The problem is I can't go Leclerc, Ricardo then. I have to go Magnussen. And I don't hate this, but if I'm doing this, then I'm a bit more stuck. Because ideally I would want to do, like, if I had infinite, if I had 3 transfers this week, I would sell Bottas as well. Like, I would do this, right? I would do Ricardo and Magnussen. Like, I can exactly afford this, but that's a minus 10, and I'm not taking a minus 10, so I'm just keeping Bottas this week. Don't see McLaren going up 1 million. If Norris wins, it's very possible. If Norris wins and, like, 3 people DNF, they can definitely go up 1 million. I see Norris worst of the 4, Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri. Pure gut. Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm probably going Leclerc over Norris. I don't think I'm doing Norris. But if you're doing Norris, that's a great pick as well. I don't hate Norris. If Norris gets P2, he's getting driver of the day, and that's an extra 10 points. Yeah, don't see McLaren going up 1 million. That would be too exciting. It would be too exciting. Yeah, so I mean, let's look at this, right? So in Australia, the only time a constructor has gone up 1 million this season was Ferrari in Australia. And that was because we had 3 DNFs. We had Russellton, Hamilton, Russell, and Verstappen all DNF. And I think if 3 people DNF, I do think whoever wins can, out of Ferrari, say Ferrari or McLaren wins. Even if Piastri only gets like a P4 and Norris wins, I think it's possible. What's the? I can't remember. Let me look up how many points they need to get compared to the rest of the field. I'm gonna go onto my own YouTube channel. You can find all this information too. It's in my budget building video that I posted like a month ago. Where is my team? Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be uploading videos all year, and I have some exciting things coming up. Let's go to my channel. Why is where is it? How to increase team value by me. So, a B tier asset constructor needs to get 3 times the average point score. 3 times the average point score to increase 1 million. That's a lot. But so what was it in Australia? Fancy points. The average was 25. And it was a pretty low average, so you probably need like 3 DNFs, and say the average ends up being at 25. You need McLaren to hit 75 points. And, I mean, these are sprint weekends, so they don't count. Let's look at these, right? The odds of hitting 75 points in a single weekend, not that high. Ferrari was close, 73, Red Bull, right? But yeah, so McLaren to increase 1 million has to be like a 25 point average race, which is very possible if like two or three people DNF, and then they need to be on like 75 points, which they definitely can be. What was my calculation? 58, and then they reach Q3 with both their drivers. That's like 65, maybe some overtakes. It's not that likely, is it? It's not. Oh, they need to have do fastest lap. Yeah, fastest lap. Maybe some fastest pistol points as well. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it's not that likely for them to increase 1 million. It's very, very unlikely. Yeah, they definitely need fastest lap and at least one of the fastest pit stop points. And they would need to like win and get then Piastri either second or third. And 3 people to DNF. So yeah, very unlikely that there's going to be a 1 million increase. It's probably 0.3 is my biggest is my prediction. That's probably my guess. 37 minutes until start. Yeah, they have to win. Like, for McLaren to increase 1 million, we need 3 DNFs. We need double McLaren podium minimum, and we need them to have fastest lap and like one of the fastest pit stop points. FIA documents just tweeted about the K-Magdani situations. Yeah, 0.3 is a pretty safe. Yeah, I think 0.3 is like a guarantee for McLaren unless they DNF. I don't know what to do with main driver. I've decided on Leclerc. It's just whether I get McLaren now or not. And I have not decided that yet. No Aston Martin this weekend. I like Aston Martin if you're wildcarding, to get Aston Martin in for 1 weekend, because I think they're increasing in price. If you use wildcard, does your team stay the next? Yes, it stays the same. Wildcard is just infinite transfers, and that's what it is from now on. It's not like the Limitless. Which Haas driver do you prefer this weekend? I prefer Hulkenberg for the next 2, for sure. Let's see. I'm back in Leclerc with Piastri. Same. Let's see. I go McLaren just in hope of the money gains. That's the thing. Like, even if McLaren transfer is incorrect, I'm talking constructor now, they're probably increasing 0.3. So at least, like, worst case scenario, you gain some budget, right? So, I don't know. I don't know. I am a bit behind in budget, and since people are getting to like the double Ferrari driver with Ferrari and McLaren, maybe I want to go for something like that. Let's see here. Does a no negative affect -10 for transfer? No. No negative does not count transfer negatives, unfortunately. Holy Socks says, what do you think about Leclerc ×2, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Sargent? Or Sainz, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Gasly, both with Ferrari, McLaren. I think the second option. I don't trust Williams. I don't trust Williams at all. I'm beginning to lose focus. I'm also out of drinks, so I'm gonna take a quick break, quick soda refill and toilet break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes tops, okay? And then we're actually gonna make the transfers for my team. So yeah, I'll be right back. I don't even have a be right back screen. I have again the fact that I'm even live on YouTube right now is a miracle. So Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, please. That means a lot to me. Liking the stream is amazing. Also, is the what's it called? The thumbnail for the stream just F1 Fantasy? Because I made an entire thumbnail for it, but it didn't look like it was on when I went to my channel. Or what is it? Is it just? Can someone who is not me look at this? Is the thumbnail just F1 Fantasy? Because if so, I'm gonna be very upset. It looks like it. I hate it. I made an entire thing. Where do I change it? Thumbnail worked. Is it? Yes, it's just F1 Fantasy. Where? I made a cool thumbnail for this. How do I change this? Where do I? Is it on YouTube Studio? Let's go. Okay. How do I change this? I don't understand YouTube streaming, man. I don't understand YouTube streaming. It's just I made an entire cool thumbnail for it and I uploaded it. Why did it not work? How do I change this? I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Alright, that was way faster. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Let's try and fix this thumbnail. I haven't even tweeted out the stream. It was just a miracle that it even worked on YouTube. It's not on channel dashboard. How? Where can I find my live stream like thing? I don't get it. I don't get YouTube. I've never done YouTube streaming before. I am live right now. Live right now. There we go. Okay, I got it up. I got it up. So why can I not? Let's see. Edit. Customization. Excellent connection. Nice. Thank you for all the views, guys. It's actually been like 100 plus this entire time. That's really, really cool. So thank you a lot for that. I cannot edit the... Maybe I can't edit it now. That's really unfortunate. FP3 instead up, says Jacob Larson. Oh, could you send it to me on Twitter? Could you send it to me on Twitter? Thumbnail. Change. It's... I have uploaded a... Okay, save. Maybe now it works. Maybe now it works. Okay. It says I had uploaded it. I made an entire cool thumbnail and all, you know. I worked hard on that. Yeah, okay, let's see. Fancy Tools just made an update, says Tama. On Twitter or like in the thing. Team Analyzer, or is it something like that? I haven't logged in. This is best teams for post FP3. Oh wow. Is this the wait, so no, current budget was my budget 108 million. Let's check this out. Recalculate. Yeah, they're recommending the double B tier driver assets. That's actually really interesting. Really interesting. I can't get to this though. That's super interesting. Super interesting. Let's get this up. Ooh, wait, maybe it's this. Hold up. Oh, I got the chat up. We did it. Oh, that's how you do it. Nice. Oh, fantastic. It only took 2 hours of the stream being live for me to fix it. That's honestly incredible. Please check 103. I'll check 103. No max in the team apparently. That's what F1 Fantasy Tools. I can check 103. You can do this too. Just go to F1 Fantasy Tools. It's a fantastic website. On 103 million, it's probably still Ferrari, McLaren, right? This is the best. I'm not sponsored. I wish. This is the best sound in the world. I don't know if my mic picked that up, but that's Oh, lovely. Yeah, so on 103 it's Ferrari, McLaren, Norris, and then cheap drivers. Let's look at the 108 again because that's where I'm at. Who to take, Piastri or Sainz? I don't know, probably Sainz. This calculator really likes Sainz and Piastri, but since I'm not gonna be able to get Piastri in because I don't have enough transfers to get this, I think I'm going Leclerc. Yeah. But apparently, it's looking like they say Ferrari McLaren is going to be the best. What if it's at like 111? Is it does this calculator at any point say Red Bull? No. It just says make a better team, right? It even says Norris and Piastri are the best if you're on like 111. That's very interesting. I probably wouldn't trust Norris and Piastri. I'd probably trust Norris and Sainz, but maybe you can't afford Norris and Sainz. Maybe you need like 112. Norris Sainz? Yeah. I mean, this is a monster team. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, everyone. I have not... okay, just because I'm gonna trust F1 Fantasy Tools again, and I'm gonna do McLaren. I've decided, I think. I can't do Piastri, though, because I need to do other transfers. So that's staying. So I think for that reason, we're sticking with Stroll, and we're just selling this for Leclerc. Is that the team? Is Leclerc going to be faster than Sainz? That's what I'm wondering. I think Leclerc is better. Or do we need Norris? Actually, it's saying Norris is better. I can do this. Is this my transfer? Is this the best from my team? It's very possible. It's very possible. I think let's look. Hold on. Sign into chat. Okay, let's remove that real quick. Let's do this, and just increase it up here instead. There you go. Yeah, so now we can see chat up here. Nice. Nice. It's very small, but it's fine. You can kind of read it there. At least I solved it. I'm hoping the thumbnail is correct now. I don't know if it is, but it's whatever. Is this my transfer? Do I not trust Ferrari anymore? Do I trust McLaren? Who had the let's find the YouTube chat real quick. Who had the someone said I asked someone to send me on Twitter. I don't know if you did that. I'm gonna check my Twitter right now. Either just tag me or send it in DMs. I've not seen any DMs. I don't think so. No. It's just Twitter bots in my DMs. and my dad. Okay. So what? The FP3 simulations were up. Someone said. Where can I find this? Does anyone know? Does anyone have the FP3 simulations? Is it a good use, Walter? Yes. I really like the wildcard today because you can do things like this. Like if you're in 111 million, I would probably just copy this. Like, I mean, that's crazy. I probably would spread it out a bit, but I guess you have to do Norris. I would probably do Leclerc Sainz. I would probably do this over this. I know they say this is more, but this gives you more money. So I would do this if I had 111 million. Oh, you meant on fantasy tools? Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. No, that's good then. So I was correct because that's the first thing I want to look, but I wanted to look at actual data, but that's okay. Yeah, Thomas says good luck to everyone. Good luck to everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna say that like 2 more times a day, not more than that. I promise. I know it's annoying. I guess I'm doing this. For my team, I wish I had 111 million. If you have 111 million, I think this third one is what I would go for. Because I don't trust Piastri, and I just like the double Ferrari better, and the money's more. But at my thing, at 111, it's saying I should do Sainz, but the only reason it's saying I should do Sainz is because then I can afford Piastri, and I can't get that in this time anyway. So it's actually something like this, right? Isn't this just what I'm at? It's close, but it's even better because I've Tsunoda Hulkenberg, right? This one it's not saying Tsunoda's going to be that great. It's saying Magnussen's better, but I mean I'm not selling Tsunoda. This gives me some money in the bank. I think this is what I'm doing. I think I'm just chilling. What's 22 minutes? I should open. I'm also watching the QUALI live here. I obviously can't stream it because that's giga illegal. But I will be watching it, so we'll be sweating it out together. I'm gonna put it up. I need to probably mute it though. Let's see. It might completely destroy my my internet speed though. We'll see. I have pretty good internet, and it's upload and download speed. I don't think it should. Yeah, the stream starts in a second. Yeah. All right, I'm ready to watch it. I'm ready to watch it. I am ready to watch it. So if you don't have anywhere to be during the qualifying session, you are very welcome to watch it with me. I think it'll be fun. -10 to get a team not using wildcard. Let's see. Who take Piastri or Sainz? I think Sainz. And then you said -10. I don't like -10s in general. I think if you're doing a -10 and you have other things you want to do, just use the wildcard. Better pick Tsunoda, Sargent, or Hulkenberg show. I think Hulkenberg show, but it's very close. It's very close. Haas or RB team constructor? It's 50-50. I can't. I'll take a picture of it. So, show the 103. Yes. You can also go and look at this yourself. You just go to the team calculator. Select for which, so post FP3, and then 103, and just boom. And then you get a bunch of different teams here. So the best team on 103 million is this. Ferrari, McLaren, Norris, and then Hulk, Show, Mag, Gasly is apparently the best. But this is, yeah, it looks pretty good for budget as well. So it's probably this you go for, right? I don't think you could go for Leclerc over Norris if you trust Leclerc more. I was gonna go for Leclerc, but since it's suggested Norris, I might go for Norris. 20 minutes. 20 minutes to make a decision. Let's turn up the... I'm assuming you guys will hear everything I put on my monitor, so I guess I'll just mute the F1 stream. I haven't looked into that. Where is it? Let's see. Watch live. It's starting. I'll turn it off the sound so we don't get gigabanned. This is a watch along now in a minute when it starts. So yeah, thank you so much for all the engagement. We've had like 100 plus. Our peak was like 150 viewers. Jesus Christ, that's so much. Thank you so much, guys. That's a lot. Unfortunately, the peak was at the start of the stream when you know we had some technical issues. So thank you so much if you've stuck around all this time. If you have any questions, you have 19 minutes to ask them. 19 minutes until the deadline. I think I've decided I'm going to trust F1 Fantasy Tools, and I'm not doing Leclerc. I'm doing Lando Norris. Sticking with Lance Stroll is scary. If I could switch more, I would do this. But you know, we're stuck. Ferrari and Red Bull are still fantastic. I don't think you have to switch to McLaren at all. 2 times on Norris or Sainz. If you have both, Norris. Norris, Sainz, or Leclerc, Piastri. Norris, Sainz for sure, Joe. Jacob is definitely correct there. I had the meta team, and now I struggle to pivot with only 2 transfers. Do you have your wild card? I don't think you have to pivot away from the meta team, honestly. I think it's fine to just sell either Verstappen or Red Bull Racing, and then make another transfer to upgrade. So you can just sell Verstappen to Norris and upgrade one of the other drivers to get like a Tsunoda or a Hulkenberg or a Magnussen or a Ricciardo. Or you sell Red Bull for McLaren, keep Verstappen, and just do the same thing. So I actually don't think it's very hard to pivot with 2 transfers. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough. If you don't want them, I think the meta team is still strong. Is Paris worth keeping? No, I don't think Paris is worth keeping. I think I would sell Paris to Leclerc. If you only had 1 transfer this week and you have Paris, I think you're selling it for Leclerc for sure. Best team for 107.9 million. Probably this, right? Probably this. 107 million. 107.9 million even. I mean, yeah, it's probably this, but I don't trust this that much. So it's probably just Norris and Stroll, right? It's probably this team right here. That's 107.5. I would not take -10s just willy-nilly. I would definitely consider using wildcard. Leclerc or Norris is literally a 50-50. Wow, I'm very, very sorry. I wish I could pick between them. Right now, I'm going with Norris because F1 Fantasy Tools is suggesting it, but it could be either one. Best team for 105.7 budget building. Well, we can look at that. Well, what does the calculator say? 105.7 calculates, and then you just sort by budget gain. The best budget team right now is Aston Martin is on everyone, so that you probably need to use your what's it called? Your wildcard for that, because once Aston Martin hits 15 million, they're useless. Literally the worst asset in the game, but right now they're pretty good. So this is the best budget building according to the calculations. I don't like this. I don't know why Kick is showing here. I would much rather have Haas. And then you do Sainz, Piastri, Stroll, Hulkenberg show. So that's the best, apparently, the best one. But yeah, I agree with Ferrari Aston. Ferrari Aston should be the best budget building constructor pairing right now. 2 times from Norris or Sainz? Norris for sure. Norris for sure, Thomas. Should I use autopilots? No. I don't think so. If you have Sainz and Piastri, no. I think you just put it on Sainz. The difference is not going to be that big unless they crash, but you can never predict that. I'm using wildcard for 110.5 team. That's such a good range, by the way. You should definitely look to do the double-double. I'm going to name it 100.7.5. The wildcard, if you have a lot of money on the wildcard, let's look at points. On 110 plus million, you should do Ferrari, McLaren, and then 2 B-tier drivers. So something like this, or something like this. Ferrari, McLaren, Sainz. I think is very, very powerful. Obviously, you would need to have Sargent here, but I don't think it matters that much because you get Hulkenberg in anyway. So I think this sixth team here is very, very strong. This team, I don't know why, this really like McLaren and Piastri. I just don't trust Piastri at the moment, but like this also looks very strong because you don't have to have Sargent, obviously. So if you're on wildcard, this would be the team I'm going for. What is the time? I have 15 minutes to select my team. 14 minutes to select my team. Joe Clark, thanks man, great job, like and subscribe, good luck to all this weekend. You too, Joe Clark, that's so kind of you. 109.4, something similar. I'm going speedrunning here. So Sebastian, if you're wildcarding, it's something like this. Ferrari, McLaren, have Sainz, Piastri, Leclerc, Piastri, and then whatever you can afford. That's probably the best wildcard. We've already talked about why, so you can go back in the stream if you want to watch it. But essentially, it's very, very flexible. You can get Red Bull back super easily for next week if it turns out the McLaren are bad. Best chip to use, I mean, the Limitless is insane, but for this weekend, it would probably be the wild card, right? I probably wouldn't use any other chip this weekend apart from the wild card. Let's see, Kev or Ricardo, very, very close. I actually personally like Ricardo, especially for Imola and for Monaco, because Magnussen mainly relies on overtakes, and these are two tracks with very low overtaking. 107.5 budget, what do you think? That's kind of like what I was at, and I think it's something like this, right? I can't get this, but it's probably something like this for your team. I'm going to lock in my transfers now and not mix anything with my team anymore. This will be my final team. Lando Norris is my selection. It's not Leclerc. I'm gonna trust F1 Fantasy Tools that Lando Norris is fast. What are the details to join your league? I thought I put that in the description. I did not. I can post that in a second. So I'll add that in a second, Gordon. Hold on, wait. Actually, I'll do it now. I'll do it now. I'm very sorry. I'll do it now. Pinned leagues. My fantasy league. Let's do share league. So the code to join my league is right here. And the link to join is right here. And I'm going to put this link in the description of this video, or of this stream, I guess. Let's edit the stream. My league. There we go. So if you refresh the stream, you should see it in the description. Otherwise, you can join it from there. It's not something serious. Why Lance Stroll? It's just because I have Lance Stroll already, and I'm not looking to sell him because I'm looking to sell Red Bull instead. So I don't trust Lance Stroll at all, but I guess I'm just stuck with him for now. I'm not going to do a -10 to get rid of him. So that's why Lance Stroll. 109 budget, thinking of going Ferrari, McLaren, Leclerc ×2 plus Piastri. Looks really, really strong at cash. Looks really, really strong. I really like that. Is it worth taking Sargent out for Hulkenberg given how good it's been? If it's for a -10, no. If it's just to do a transfer, yes, for sure. I have 113 mil, wildcard or not. 113 mil is insane. Like, it's actually insane. I'm so incredibly jealous of you. If you have 113 million, I would 100% wildcard this week. And I would get this team in. No, would I have Piastri? No, I would have this. I would not go Piastri, I would go Sainz. I would have this exact team right here. That looks unbelievably powerful. Or I would go Leclerc over Norris and not have Sargent. So I would do this team, Leclerc over Norris for the 2 times, and maybe someone else other than Sargent, like either Bottas or something else. I don't know what you can afford with that. You could probably afford like Gasly, right? So if you're at 113 million, you're looking great. And I would do this. I would wildcard. I would click the wildcard right now and do this exact team, or Leclerc instead of Norris and like Gasly instead of Sargent or something like that. So yeah. Which is better, 2 times Norris or among Norris and Verstappen? I mean, Verstappen is probably the best, right? But this calculator really likes Norris this weekend. So really, really likes Norris this weekend. I think I'm locking in my transfers. 109 budget. It's basically the same, but you can't go for Norris, right? It's you go for like Leclerc, Sainz, still. But you have to stick to Sargent. So yeah, that would be what I would go for him. I'm on 108 million budget, so I'm poor. Hello from Bosnia. I'm going with Leclerc. Good luck. Yeah, good luck to you. I'm going with Norris, I think. I've decided. LBJ asked, measly budget of 106 wildcard. Currently got Norris, Red Bull, and Ferrari. If you already had Norris, Red Bull, and Ferrari, I would probably stick to it. I probably wouldn't wildcard. Wildcard, I think I would do if I'm in the possibility of getting a double, basically 2 premium drivers and 2 premium constructors. And with that lower budget, you can't get to that anyway. So I think I would just stick with what you have. 9 minutes. Final questions. Come on, guys. Final questions. I'm gonna lock in my team right now. Do you think McLaren will outscore Red Bull Racing? I think it'll be close, but they will definitely out-budget them. They will for sure out-budget them. So I think for that reason, I think they're going to be very even in points, and then McLaren is going to increase 0.3 and Red Bull 0.1. So yeah, for sure. We're also watching the quali live here, so once the deadline's over, I'm not ending the stream. If you don't have nothing else to do. 109 budget, what do you recommend? Double. So like Leclerc, Sainz, 3 cheap drivers, Ferrari, McLaren, something like that. That's what I would recommend, Pablo. Claudia says, I have 110 budget with Ferrari and Red Bull, Sainz, Stroll, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Albon. Who should I change? Albon. Albon sucks. No, Albon's not bad. Albon's a great driver, but I would prioritize changing Albon to like Hulkenberg. Yeah. Piastri podium. Possible. Very possible. So, alright, I'm locking in my transfers. 8 minutes to go. Going wildcard this week. You think I'm switching back to Ferrari Red Bull next week after Ferrari? The thing with going Ferrari McLaren plus 2 premium drivers is that it's so easy to get Red Bull back. So even if this turns out to be a mistake, that McLaren is not as good as we thought, and that Red Bull is still really fast in the race, you just sell Red Bull. You just sell McLaren for Red Bull and get Red Bull back. So yeah, I think it's very cheap. Sure, Bottas. I don't know. They're 50-50. Ferrari, Mac, McLaren, right? Sainz, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Show, Bottas looks really powerful. Tama looks really good. I'm very scared going without Leclerc, but I think Lando Norris has a higher chance of going good. Once Lando hits 25 million, I'm not playing him anymore, by the way. Yeah, so I really like that Tama. 112.9. Ooh, Leclerc, Sainz, Bottas, Show, Tsunoda, McLaren, Ferrari. Ilio, that is literally my dream team. You could not have made a better team, honestly. Maybe if you had managed to get Hulkenberg over Show, but yeah, it's a fantastic team. Guys, who do you think will be the race winner? I think it's going to be Norris, Verstappen, or Leclerc. But I have no idea. It looks even. Sauber pilots were all Alpine. It's very close. Probably Alpine, if you have the money right now, because I still don't trust the pit stops for Sauber. But it's close. Alpine and Kick are pretty even. Lando or Perez? For sure Lando. I think if you have Perez, you sell him for Leclerc. Alright, I need to confirm my team. Ricardo or Gasly? Ricardo. On it. Thanks for the videos and guidance. No problem, Elio. Don't forget to... I'm going to do the final one. So, the deadline, 6 minutes to go. So, final. Like this stream if you've been watching for any amount of time. It helps a lot. Subscribe if you want more of F1 fantasy content. I'm continuing this throughout the season. And honestly, this deadline stream has been really fun. All of your engagement, all of the comments, all of the questions have been really fun. I'm sorry if I did not get to your comments specifically. I've tried really hard to get to all of them. Yeah, sorry for that. I'll try and keep doing deadline streams in the future, because this was actually really fun. DRS, Sainz or Leclerc autopilot chip. I wouldn't autopilot. I would save the autopilot. I don't think it's worth it. I think the difference between them is so tiny. And the only thing that's gonna, like, if one of them DNS, but you can't really predict that. So I would keep the autopilot for a later date. Bottas, Leclerc, Magnussen, Sainz. Last one, please, says Allison. I would go for Magnussen, Sainz. Ooh, but it's very close. Piastri or Sainz? For sure Sainz. I wouldn't trust Piastri. I mean, Piastri could get P3, you know, but I would go for Sainz. The calculator probably disagrees with me, though. Alright, 5 minutes. I'm locking in the team now. Select the driver for DRS boost. Lando Norris for DRS boost. I'm doing confirm. I'm going McLaren this week. No Charles Leclerc. I'm going Lando Norris. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, wait. 3, 2, 1. It's done. It's done. Ignore this team. I'm not managing that team anymore. It was an experiment. Yay! Okay, now we pray for McLaren to be fast. I did it. Okay, we have 5 minutes to go. Leclerc, Ocon, Adit Kostla says Leclerc, Ocon, Magnussen, Stroll, Hülkenberg, McLaren, Ferrari. Looks really good. Looks really, really good. I really like. I would if you haven't made transfers anymore. If you haven't made your transfer yet, I would probably sell Ocon to Tsunoda. But I really like that team. Leclerc and Sainz or Norris and Piastri. Ooh, I would go Leclerc and Sainz. I still don't trust Piastri. I'm sorry. So, Jesus Christ. I've got Red Bull. Is that RB or is that Racing Bulls or Red Bull Racing? I'm assuming it's Red Bull Racing. Ferrari, Verstappen, both Haas, Bottas, Sargent. Who should I swap around? Ooh, it's difficult. Either Red Bull to McLaren and upgrade Sargent, or Verstappen to Lando and upgrade Sargent. And I would upgrade Sargent to Tsunoda if you can afford it. Though I really like that team. Honestly, you could stick with that exact team and it probably would still be good. Name Sargent or Show? For sure. But I wouldn't take a -10. I wouldn't take a -10 to change C tier drivers at all. C tier drivers being drivers below 15 million. I have Red Bull and Ferrari, but I'm stuck between Lando and Leclerc. Same. I just selected Lando, but it's 50-50. Let's hope that Stroll doesn't unite with his lover, the Wall. I agree with you, Elio. I agree with you. It's safer to go with Lando plus Ferrari and Red Bull. I don't know, Isa. I don't know. Yes, over Perez, I think so. I don't trust Perez after his performance in the free practice. I would for sure sell Perez to either Lando or Leclerc. Are we really this fast to ship off Red Bull after one lucky race of predictions? The reason why is because McLaren are better for budget, and it's very easy to get Red Bull back. So I still think it might have been a mistake to do this, but I like taking risks. So you're 100% correct, Mateja, and I would definitely look to keep Red Bull if you want to keep Red Bull. But it's very, very close. I'll say this: it's very, very close. And yeah, I'm just praying Lando Norris wins again, I guess. I have to spend -10 for Albon, out, and Hulken. I wouldn't do it. I mean, Hulkenberg is so much better than Albon, but I wouldn't spend -10 for it. I wouldn't spend -10 for it. Stroll's gonna send it into the wall at turn 14. I'm calling it right now. Yes, and I'm calling it on lap 12. But I'm praying it doesn't happen. Mag or Rick? It's very close, but I actually think Ricardo. Because Ricardo did that P4 in Miami qualifying. 2 minutes! 2 minutes! This is crazy. I don't know how far behind my stream is. It's probably just a few seconds, right? Thank you for all the subs, guys. Thank you for all the subs. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so. I will be continuing this series all throughout the year, throughout the season, and probably keep doing deadline streams as well. This was really, really fun. We're also going to watch the qualifying, so if you have nowhere else to be and you just want to sit and watch it with us, you're welcome to do so. Sweat it out with us. 1 minute, get your transfers in. Don't miss the deadline. Don't miss the deadline. Do we have any final questions? K-Mac going to be bowling ball tomorrow? Maybe. I just think Red Bull isn't pushing 100%. Possible. Max could very much be on pole. And if so, then I guess shame on me. Good luck. Alright, let's see. So, my desktop audio is down. I'm gonna put on the F1 stream now. Not on this stream, obviously, because that would get me gigabanned. But tell me if you hear this the audio. I think I've managed to turn it off because I still want to hear what's going on in qualifying. Oh my god. Thank you so much for everything. Like the stream, subscribe. Deadline is up. It's over. It's locked, right? Now we can still make transfers. It's like 30 seconds left. It's like 30 seconds. Get your final transfers in now. Thank you for all the questions. Locked. Epic. Thank you so much for all the views. If you're leaving now, thank you so much for being here. But we're changing this. I'm going to edit the stream title to IMOLA QUALI watch along. There we go. Save. Alright, it's now official watch along territory. I'm gonna keep this up I think deadline's up. Deadline's up. We did it. Has the site ever lagged because of deadline? I don't know, but I don't trust it. That's why I made my transfers 5 minutes before. Trickatello. Naheem says, thanks for all the help. Love the channel. Thank you, Naheem. That means a lot to me. That means a lot. I'll make sure to continue for you. Do you guys hear the stream? Like the F1 broadcasts? Because I have it on my second monitor with sound. So if you hear it, you have to tell me because I don't want to get banned. That would be very, very unfortunate. That would be very, very unfortunate. Alright. QUALI is starting. They're rolling out. The cars are rolling out. If you have any questions not related to F1 Fantasy, or at least not this deadline because the deadline's up, I guess you can ask them now. Now that I have a bit more time. That was hectic, guys. That was very, very hectic. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's watch my F1. Oh, Dawson says, you may have just saved my team. Thank you. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Whew. Oh, I'm completely exhausted after that. I'm completely exhausted. Completely exhausted. All right. Screw the broadcast is up. I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna relax for a little bit. If you have questions or things, you can pop them in. I'll still have the. I feel like I have a differential since I kept Red Bull. You might as well be. I don't know how many people sent it. I should make a post on Twitter actually. I forgot to post on Twitter that I was live, but it's fine. Let's make a little. Let's see. Boom. I'm gonna make a post on Twitter saying that I fell for the pressure. Let's do this. Final team selection, IMOLA 2024. Boom. I buckled under the McLaren pressure. Easy to get Red Bull Racing back if not. If this isn't successful, Norris DRS. All right, and then we paste that in and just say hashtag F1 Fantasy. I'm also gonna shout out you guys. Thank you for an amazing deadline stream. Watch along now, and then we're going to get a little link for this. Where is the... Let's find the stream. That's the stream, right? Let's see, this is the stream, I believe. There we go. Control C and Control V. There we go. All right. If you don't follow me on Twitter, that's where I post all this stuff. Usually I would post that I'm live, but I forgot to do it. Ooh, interesting teams from people. A lot of people seem to go. I'm looking at everyone's teams right now. A lot of people have gone for the McLaren switch. F1 Fantasy HQ keeps Verstappen and Red Bull. Oh yeah, this is a big deviation in the season actually. That's very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. African BTS, your videos have been amazing for getting me started. Thank you. You're welcome. That means a lot. That means a lot. I don't think links are allowed, guys, if you're posting links, unfortunately. I don't know why the messages are getting retracted, but I think it's links. I don't know what's allowed and not allowed. Again, I didn't think I was gonna be able to stream on YouTube today because I got blocked immediately. So the fact that I'm even here is a miracle. So I haven't gone through all the stream settings. All right, let's look at some lap times from Ferrari. I'm personally hoping McLaren are the fastest now, even though I'm a Ferrari fan. Albon fastest in Sector 1, though Ferrari are on mediums. Perhaps I judged Albon too quickly. Perhaps I judged him too quickly. What happened to my lighting? Jesus Christ. There we go. Ignore the empty beer bottles behind me. I haven't cleaned my apartment. Alright. Let's see. This is so much worse than watching Arsenal play. The anxiety. I get it. I get it. F1 Fancy Crash Course this morning. Oh, welcome. My channel should be... I mean, I started quite late, so I don't have like a proper guide how to play F1 Fantasy. I should do that, but I feel like I'm going to do that at the start of next season because it feels a bit too late to upload that now. I know other content creators have made decent guides. Norris is going fast. Boom. Leclerc fastest on mediums by 2/10, and then Norris goes above with another 2/10. What did Albon do? Oh, Albon went off. Unlucky. Albon over the white line. I don't know how I can have this. I need to have like the... Okay, there we go. The chat up at the same time. Albon did touch the gravel. I missed it the first time around. Alright, let's see what happens. Verstappen fastest in Sector 1. But that's to be expected. They were losing time in Sector 2 mainly. I have no idea why I scored 442 points in the last and only 2 races I participated in with Mercedes. That's fine. That is that happens. I started with Mercedes this season as well. That looked like he was over the line. I don't know if Verstappen might be over the line there. Fastest in Sector 2. That's not good. Those who kept Red Bulls looking strong. Praying for Leclerc. I'm praying for Lando pole. Paris 2/10 behind Norris. But again, Leclerc is still on mediums and only like 2.5 tenths behind. Verstappen coming up upon the finish line here, goes fastest by 2/10, but loses fastest Sector 1 to Piastri. I mean, this is definitely... They're not going fast yet, but... I know I'm a Ferrari fan, but like I'm also... Okay, I'm rooting for... I'm 100% rooting for Ferrari, for sure. But I did go with Norris. I would love a Leclerc win. It's been way too long. It's been way too long. Piastri, yeah, they're slower in Sector 2 for sure. Who's fastest in Sector 2? Is this still Max? It looks like Verstappen was above the line in Sector 2, but I'm not sure. I didn't see which turn it was. Was it turn 14? Definitely not allowed. Data privacy and all that. What do you mean? I'm looking at top chat. I'm actually not looking at all chats. Maybe that's why. I don't think there's a difference, actually. I don't think... Can you guys hear the stream? The broadcast, the Swedish F1 broadcast? Because if so, I need to fucking... I'm about to get gigabanned. I'm trying very hard to not... I think it's mute. Do you guys hear... Do you only hear me right now? Or do you hear the browser? Oscar is quicker than Max, yeah. But it's still safety lap. Russell's third. Only you. Okay, thanks, Racing. Thanks, Racing. Yeah, Russell goes third fastest. This is... They're not pushing right now. Only you. Thank you, Isa. Thank you. Oh, yellow flag. What's happened? Oh, green flag. I took a punt on Leclerc ×2 and Piastri plus McLaren. McLaren looks really strong. I think that's probably this. I wish I could do that, but I couldn't do that with my transfer, so I just went for Norris. With only 2 transfers. Yeah, it was probably track limits. I don't know what happened in the... Someone must have gone off, like, pretty decently, otherwise they wouldn't put up a yellow flag sector 1 and 2. I thought it was about to be someone in the gravel. Sainz 3rd, only... Oh, Gasly to 4th. Yeah, they're definitely not pushing yet. Leclerc on mediums to 5th. They must have done 2 laps, right? Let's see, Hamilton. Wow. Only 12th. African Beautyist, if you're still here, you made the right call selling Mercedes and Hamilton, I think. That's tragic. But he must have made a mistake. That was pretty bad, Sector 3. Pretty bad, Sector 3. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder if the... let's see if the... did my... Oh yeah, my what's it called? My thumbnail uploaded now. Nice. That's much better than just an F1 fantasy banner. I can't believe it was that for like 2 hours. I'm such an idiot. Let's put this here, just so I can see. Oh. Oh. Alonso again. That's probably him out. Alonso in the gravel. They probably have time to... It didn't look like he had... It doesn't look like he has any damage. He just has to switch tires. But that could be Aston out. He should have time though. He should have time to pit. Ay. Alonso. You can't do that again. Could be floor damage for sure. Could be floor damage. Oh, it was Logan falling into the gravel. I didn't even see that. That's so funny. That's why I don't trust Logan Sargent. Oh my god. Actually, I might do this so you guys can see me from because I'm looking at my second monitor. Oh my god, I just destroyed everything. That's tragic. I think I'll do this so that I can have you guys here because I'm watching this monitor now. Is that decent? I think it's fine. Yeah. Let's just do this. Yeah. So it's not looking like I'm just watching it, like looking to the side because I'm watching the F1 here on this monitor now. There we go. All right, I think that's good. I think that's good. You can see my terrible cable management. Ignore this. My bed is up here, so like that's my bed right there. So let's see. You're getting proper behind the scenes. So many crashes and drivers hitting the gravel almost makes me wonder if no negative might have been decent. Yeah, I think no negative is still the best in the sprint races because it's hard to predict otherwise. Let's look at this again. Albon alone on track. Everyone in pits. Williams look bad. Like the Williams is just a bad car. There's gravel all over the track. Gravel all over the track. Paris P9. Yeah, but they haven't gone the fastest yet. They haven't gone the fastest they can yet. I mean, Gasly's 5th, and I don't think that's accurate. Norris and Piastri first, second though. Hulkenberg only 17th. That's probably changing, right? Albon didn't even improve. I mean, Albon and Sargent are definitely out in Q1, surely, right? Where's the Hulkenberg P4, you know? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. Alright. Albon's surely out, right? Yeah, Albon's definitely out. Lando Norris. Boop. Flying. Alright, so who do we think going out? Who do we think's going out? Who do we think's going out? I think we have Sargent, Albon, probably Show still. Mag and Hulkenberg are 16th, 18th. But I think it's Albon, I think it's Sargent, I think it's Show. Alonso is slow. That's not good. Alonso could be a double winners, double Sauer, and Magnussen. I mean, that's a safe bet, right? There's no way Hulkenberg's out. Surely not. But, I mean, Alonso not improving is pretty bad. Do. Alright. We're watching Show improving. 2/10. Evolution seems to be high. Sargent. Someone's in the way. That looked like Albon who was in the way. All the bottom guys we're watching now. Everyone at the top are doing outlaps. I'm surprised like Norris is not staying in. Surely like Norris and Piastri's time are good enough. There's no way everyone is improving above them. Sargent plus 0.5 to Norris. Plus 0.5 to Lando Norris. I guess everyone's going out for that reason, right? Yeah, Sargent's like 10th right now. Track Evo seems crazy. Yeah, Ocon to 9th. I don't know if that will be enough. Albon's 100% out. Show's out. Yeah, Show's lost. That's bad. Sargent 14th, probably out. It's probably Albon, Sargent, Ricardo, Show. Bottas, Albon might be through. Hulkenberg is on purple sector too. Oi! Nico! That's crazy. Let's go. That's actually so good. My god. Yeah, everyone's going in because they're safe. Alonso's out. Wait, is Mag out? Who's still on track? Everyone's just going back in again, right? Alonso's lost? Yeah, Alonso's lost. Alonso's actually lost. Yeah, I said that. His first sector was so bad. He must have messed up in sector 2 again. Alonso's starting lost. Worst asset in the game. Come on, Max. Don't. You're such a buzzkill, man. Okay, Ricardo's safe. Magnussen is out. Magnussen's lost. Second lost. Albon's through. Max is such a buzzkill. Just let Nico be first once. Tsunoda third. God, I mean Hulkenberg and Tsunoda are the assets you need to have in that C tier. Magnussen 19th. That's really good for owners. Leclerc second on medium tires, by the way. That's crazy. Albon's somehow through. Magnussen must have boomed it. Alonso lost. I mean, that could be good. Alonso and Magnussen. Hamilton just barely making it, but I don't think he did a final lap. I don't think Hamilton did his final lap because he knew he was safe. The commentators are talking about Hamilton just making it through, but I'm pretty sure he didn't do a final run. I think he went back into pits when he saw he was safe. I'm listening to Swedish commentators, so... What can you not hear, African? Yeah. I'm not. I don't have the sound on. Unfortunately. It's supposed to only be me because I don't want to get banned. I think my stream is slightly behind you guys as well. So you have to watch it on your own volition and then watch me at the same time if you want to. But yeah, I can't. I unfortunately can't live stream the sound from the broadcast. Oh, Magnussen got blocked. Oh my, Magnussen got blocked. Oh, Piastri's in the way. That might be a penalty for Piastri. That might be a Piastri. How is Team Aston Martin doing? I mean, honestly, like Aston Martin, at least Lance Stroll went through, so both didn't go out. So you're not losing points on the constructor. And Alonso, like, if other people just that could be good for Alonso actually. Like he could get good points from lost. He could gain some positions in the race. You're Swedish too? Nice. Stannar inne istället för att gå ut i fina vädret. Bryter mot svenska regeln att vara ute när det är fint väder. You and me, Nixie. Hamilton 15th. Where's all these Aston upgrades? I think they're there. I don't know. I don't know where the Aston upgrades are, man. I don't know. Aston's so bad, man. How did this happen? Remember last year? A year ago? I don't know where the Aston upgrades are, but I think Alonso made a mistake. I think there might be floor damage on Alonso because he went to the gravel on the first lap and then he just did not have any pace on that second run. I'm backing Alonso to have floor damage. Yeah, Nixie, it's breaking every Swedish rule in the world. Sargent got his lap time deleted 3 times. Is he lost then? That is absolutely dreadful. Sargent's lost now. So Alonso's 19th. Sargent got his lap time deleted again. That's 3 lap times deleted for Sargent. He has to be out of that car, man. How is he allowed to drive? Sargent's, there's no... sorry. Put Kimi Antonelli in that car, man. I try to avoid saying that drivers are bad, because like in F1 fantasy terms, I think Albon is awful in fantasy. I think Alonso's awful in fantasy. I think Hamilton's awful in fantasy. But like they're great drivers, obviously, right? But Sargent's not doing well. Sargent's not doing well. Yeah, Piastri is probably getting a penalty. Piastri's probably getting a grid penalty. Honestly, like Piastri, put it like P8, so you start like P11 after getting moved down from a penalty, and then move up in the race. I'd rather you do that than like qualifying like P3 and go down to P8, you know, or P6. I'd rather you get like skipped back. Alright, while we wait for FP2 to start, I'm gonna go to the toilet real quick, but I'll be right back. I've finished 2 cans of soda, so I've opened the floodgates. I'll be right back. Q2. I don't know why I said FP2, but it's Q2. I think Petr will call up P5, go down to P8, recover to P6. Very possible. Very possible, Racing. Very, very possible. I hope you guys don't hear me flush. I haven't been able to fix my settings. Maybe you can hear me flush. I have, I went online to set up my stream today on YouTube. And I've never streamed on YouTube before, so it was a bit new, and I didn't have that much time, so I only had like 2 hours to try and set it up. And then I went to go live, and it said like, oh, it started like a 24-hour countdown timer. I posted about this on Twitter, and I was like, oh, come on. So I had to like switch it, hard steer, and try and set it up on my old Twitch that I don't use anymore. And when I did that, like after I did that, I went back to YouTube, and it had been approved. So I had like only 30 minutes to set things up, and couldn't get everything done correctly. At least now, you know, everything kind of works. You can see the comments above me, things like that. So, unfortunate. If you can hear me flush, I mean, enjoy it, I guess. All right, Russell's off and running. I should get a timer. I should be able to add like the timer somehow. Because so you guys know where I'm at on the stream, what I'm qualifying on, what I'm commentating on. It's for next time. I know how I can do it, but I think I need to show the stream to do it, and I don't want to get banned for showing F1 content. So yeah. For next time, I'll make sure to like create a little timer that ticks down, the same as the Q2 and Q3 timers, so we know exactly where we're at and can link it up if you're watching at the same time as me. Still have 24 people here. That's way more than I thought. I thought everyone would bounce to watch Q2 somewhere else. So if you're still here, thank you. That was honestly an amazing stream. I did not think we had like 152 peak viewers, and like during the entire deadline time, we were above 100 viewers for most of it, which is honestly incredible for my first stream. So thank you so much. Alright. Hulkenberg P1 is so funny. Yeah, Max is so fast in Sector 1. So fast. Maybe you gave your friends a few too many hints. You should do like I did. Hold on. I don't want to... Wait. I don't want to accidentally show some things here. Enjoy my Persona 3 background. Yes, I'm a nerd. I don't want to accidentally show the... No, because it's not my league, so you can't see this from here. Okay, so I can do this. Yeah, so this is my money league with my family. Like my cousins and my uncle. And I'm destroying them right now. They should honestly look at my stream. Look at my videos. I'm winning pretty hard right now. Winning pretty hard. So that's if you're doing money things, don't give them tips. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Let's see. What's that? Let's go back. My team. Yeah, I ignore the second team. I just made it to test some things out. Let's see here. Racing episodes, second place in my private league on 1350. Oh yeah, second, yeah. Just standard points league, yeah. Yeah, Paris is way off Max's pace. Maybe that's what saves us going for McLaren. That Paris is bad. Red Bull tricked us. No, Max Verstappen is just a goat. Paris is not looking that fast. 14.99. What am I on? I actually don't know. Pinned. I can't pin the classic. Let's see. No, starter leagues. There we go. I'm on 14.49. Oh yeah, you're solid ahead of me. You're 50 points ahead of me. ignore the second team. I was just testing something out. It's kind of annoying that you can't remove teams. I wish you could delete teams. Alright. Let's see here now. Piastri 1/10 behind Verstappen, or half a tenth. Like 500s. Both Piastri and Leclerc are just behind Verstappen in Sector 1. Perez is still 0.5 away from Perez. Hulkenberg's pace this year has been impressive. Yeah. I'm honestly very, very happy for him. Very, very happy for him getting that that Sauber seat. I think it's very good for him. I think Sainz probably don't want to go down to Sauber going into Audi, but I think it's perfect for Hulkenberg. The pace from Red Bull Racing is Max Verstappen's pace. It's not Perez's pace. It's just Verstappen being the best driver in the world right now. Piastri looked faster than Sainz. Maybe I was lying the entire time I said I preferred Sainz. Although, I mean, Piastri's always been good in quali. There we go! Leclerc! Nice. Tsunoda fastest in Sector 1. Jesus. Jesus. I think the Mercedes are in trouble. Ricciardo up to 6th. I knew Ricciardo was going to be fast this weekend. Norris only 4th. Only 4th. It's so even, though. It's so even, though. My god. Where's Tsunoda? Come on. Tsunoda. 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 Oh! Oh, Tsunoda! P2! Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Jesus Christ. My god. I mean, yeah, Tsunoda and Hulkenberg are just the best C-tier options by far. It's not even close, and I'm very happy I have them. Wow. Wow. That's honestly incredible. Honestly incredible. Ricciardo 8th is really good. I really wish I could have gotten Ricciardo in this week. I was talking a lot about... I was hyping up Ricciardo. Everyone's saying, no, he's on 1 point. He hasn't performed well, but no, like, Ricciardo looks really, really strong. I'm starting to think that Tsunoda could win, even if Max doesn't win. Maybe. I mean, if Tsunoda puts it like... If Tsunoda gets a podium, he's definitely getting driver of the day. There's no, like, you can't even argue against it. Yuki Tsunoda above Verstappen is insane. Insane. The V-carb looks insane. You have Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Max, and Hulkenberg. Oh, dude, that's what I was going. I wanted to get that with Leclerc as my DNF driver. So, with DNF, my DRS boosted driver. So I think that's like what you have. The team you have is the team I wanted, but I would have required a -10 for it. So I went for Norris instead. You could just deserve the Red Bull seat. He's never gonna get it though. I don't think he's ever getting the Red Bull seat. He deserves Stroll's seat, honestly. Get Tsunoda in the Aston once Honda takes over for 2026. Stroll has to retire soon. He's on his 8th season. That's crazy. You got to Rivola Treasure. You're in such a good spot. Like, actually, racing, you're in such a good spot. It's almost unfair. It's almost unfair. Yikes. I'll have this up. I don't like seeing my second team. Everyone's in the pits. This is actually so exciting. Oh, you still have Red Bull. Okay, yeah. A really bad feeling Perez bins it. I mean, I think you're in a very good spot, even despite not having McLaren. Yeah, you really don't. In that case, you really don't want McLaren to do well. But if McLaren just like a P3, P4, and is like P1 Red Bull, P2 Ferrari, you're fine. Are we even paying attention to the bottom 5 at this point? Bring on Q3. Bring on Q3. I don't think Albon has it. I think it's Albon, double Alpine. There's no way Stroll makes it, right? There's no way Stroll makes it, right? Albon's probably 15th here. Is Stroll gonna put a good time in? Maybe not. Mercedes is just bad. Mercedes is just bad. Or they are just bad. Nope. 12th for Albon. That's probably lost. Or lost. That's probably 15th. I knew I should have followed my instinct with Tsunoda. Oh, yeah, Tsunoda looked incredible. Williams are struggling. Can't believe they were 7th last year. They're going to be lost this year if they continue like this. I mean, the Saubers are bad as well. Maybe the Saubers lost. I can't believe how fast Haas is. At the start of the season, Haas was my #1 team to avoid. Final fix for Tsunoda? Probably not. You don't get the qualifying points. I wouldn't final fix Tsunoda. Like, I have Norris right now. Say Perez was to get eliminated here, I'd probably final fix Perez in. No, I probably wouldn't. But, you know, I don't think it's worth getting Tsunoda. If Tsunoda qualifies, like, finishes in P2, I don't think he's staying there. He's probably falling back. My new motto is, if in doubt, roll. Probably. I don't think you're incorrect. I had to do 2 transfers because I didn't want to keep Sainz. And I think I'm correct at that. Sainz does not look close to Leclerc here. And then I ended up going for Norris anyway, so. But yeah, I didn't want to keep Sainz and I didn't have any money in the bank, so I had to make 2 transfers. But I honestly think rolling transfers are stronger, and sometimes you just gotta do it. We'll see what I do next time in Monaco. McLaren are very fast in fast corners. Monaco's all slow speed. I don't know how good McLaren are in slow speed corners. I have to look at the data after Imola and compare. It honestly might just be a switch back to Red Bull Racing if Red Bull looks strong, but I wouldn't mind switching between McLaren and Red Bull constantly to whoever looks better. Will Leclerc get pole? We are checking. It's possible. Will Lec get pole? There you go. Let's do the poll. Will Leclerc get pole? Yes or no? Vote in the poll. Will Leclerc get pole? Vote in the poll. Gotta have the Ferrari delusion. I mean, the Ferrari delusion is constant, right? It's constant. Nico 6th. Here we go. Can Stroll make it through? Adrivatsa. Stroll did not do it. That's slow from Stroll. Very slow for Stroll. Aston Martin looked bad. Oy, 9th for Ricardo. But Sainz and Perez probably beat that. Sainz has not improved in the first sector. Perez does not improve in sector 1. That's not good. Sainz is fine, 6th. Fastest in sector 3. Let's see. Perez. Norris 3rd. Not faster than Tsunoda though. Tsunoda still fastest. Perez is just barely faster than Ricardo. Just barely faster than... Is Paris out? There's no way. No, they're fast in sector 3. Verstappen doing the usual Verstappen things. 2/10. God damn it. Perez and... Oh, he's out! He's out! Oh my god, Perez is out. Perez is out. Oh my god. That's some points. That's some points. Hold up. What's the rules? Hold up. what are the rules? Game rules. How many points? Constructor. Both drivers reach Q. Okay, so they... Okay. That's 2 points. That's 2 points that McLaren get over Red Bull. I mean, it could be good racing. It could be good if Red Bull are fast in the race. They could get a lot of points. Perez could get a lot of overtake and positions gained. But, I wonder... Yeah, okay, so, yeah, Red Bull gets 5 points for one driver reaches Q3. And McLaren gets 10. So that's a 5-point difference already. That's crazy. Yeah, what a mess indeed, Perez. Is Perez in the Red Bull seat next year? I don't think so. It's 5 points for one driver reaches Q3. It's 10 points both. So yeah, 5 points. Yeah, I think I said 3 initially. 2 because I read this, but yeah, it's 5 points more to McLaren. So McLaren owners currently winning, but like Perez could gain positions. More than 5 points as Perez also doesn't score as a driver. Maybe. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, he doesn't get individual points. True. Boom. RB takes a hit. McLaren pick good. Yep. But I mean, Perez could get overtakes and positions gained in the race, so it could be a double-edged sword. This, but right now it's looking good. So it could be final fix for Checo? No. Surely not. I disagree about Verstappen being the best. I mean, Max is just putting it on pole again. So, like, if Max just puts it on pole and just wins the race and Perez gains 5 positions in the race and 5 overtakes... I mean, Red Bull's better than McLaren at that point, surely. Both V-carbs making Q3. Yeah, my stream's behind. My stream's behind for sure. My stream's behind. Daniel Ricciardo just went to piss. I do also have Stroll, yeah. That's fine. I don't mind it. RB constructor getting +1 value. Possible. Very, very possible. No, K-Mag didn't crash. K-Mag got blocked by Piastri, so Piastri might get a penalty. K-Mag got kind of boomed by Piastri. I mean, it's going to be an exciting Q3, but I mean, is Max just that much faster than everyone? That'd be kind of tragic. I mean, 2/10 is not that much faster, but... Yeah, maybe V-Carb are better because Magnussen's bad. Than Haas, that is. I know many people had V-Carb at the start of the season and then sold it because they had a bad like first two races, but V-Carb might actually be worth it. I have to think about what I do next for Monaco. It's probably selling Stroll and Bottas for like an Alpine and a Ricardo. Hope Red Bull Racing get fastest pit stop points tomorrow. I hope not, but the downfall of Perez has begun. It's possible. I don't see him being in the car if he's gonna perform like this. He can't not make Q3 when Max is putting it on pole 2/10 ahead of everyone. Especially not with both V-carbs. Like, his competition is, right now, Sainz, for his seat, that is. It's Sainz, Tsunoda, and Ricardo, and they all three beat him. So, and he's in the faster car. If Perez perform like this, he's not driving at Red Bull next season. Maybe he's at Haas. It won't happen this year, Allison. I don't think Red Bull's risking it if it's that close. Perez has been not bad. This is probably his worst performance yet. V-Carb now look best of the rest, which was what we thought we were going to be at the start of the season. Yeah, they just had a bad first two races and everyone switched off of them. Imagine if Tsunoda gets pole or some shit. I doubt. I think you're smoking something. I don't think that's likely. I don't think that's likely. I think we're getting delusional. I think Max Verstappen is taking pole by 2/10. He's just too good. It's not even the car anymore. Perez is showing that it's not the car. It's him. It's just Max. Ideally here, honestly, I really want Piastri to like crash here. No, not crash. I want to do set a time, but I want Piastri to go P10, and then get the positions moved down. I think that would be better for his race than like finishing quali in P3 and moving down to P6. Is it worth the final fix to get those Checo overtake points? Depends on the Red Bull Racing the racing sims, but probably not. I don't trust. If it was on a different track, then yes. If this was like Spa, then yeah. But it's Imola, and Imola is hard to overtake on, so I wouldn't do it personally. African, your stream is... I think you're not live. I was talking about Stroll like 10 minutes ago. I guess now that I say this, you won't hear it for a while. Yeah, it's not even easy to overtake here, yeah. We had the two worst overtaking tracks back-to-back in Imola and Monaco. Monaco is obviously way worse. But yeah, Ricardo looks good. And he looks fast in slow corners. So I'm probably getting Ricardo next week then. Selling Stroll, getting Ricardo, and then selling Bottas and getting like K-Mag or Gasly or something. Possible. Doesn't sound too bad. If I want to keep McLaren, that is. Unless I want to get... If I need to get Red Bull Racing back in... I can probably sell Stroll for Ricardo and then sell McLaren and get Red Bull. I think I can afford that. That's also a possibility. McLaren, Verstappen's just so good, man. It's not fair. They're out! I'm getting another soda. Sheesh. Nice. Alright, let's go. Verstappen's out. Oof. Does it sound decent or should I move the mic closer? I should probably have the mic here, right? I should probably have the mic here. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Yup. Top of the middle. Yeah, Mercedes is bad. Oh no. 23-4 on Verstappen. Ay, 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 ay. Verstappen's so fast, man. 23-7 on Tsunoda. Everyone's getting faster. What was Hulkenberg's time? Did Hulkenberg set a time? Norris purple sector. But like that second sector is where Red Bull struggles. Max doing Max things, yeah. It was close to being over. Oh my god, that's 5/10 better than the Q2 time. Oh, Jesus Christ! Norris is not even a 10th behind. My god, this quali is insane. Sector 1 is the difference, yeah. Oh, Piastri, none of the Ferraris are close to this in quali pace. Piastri third. Hulkenberg only sets 16.3. That is not great from Sainz. Leclerc third. Only like a 10th and a half. 10th and a half. Yeah, Leclerc. I mean, a 10th and a half is not much, and that's the first run. I don't like Piastri's P4. Hamilton's not fast. A second behind. Oh, okay, that's old tires for Russell and Hamilton, but I don't think it matters. This is so... this is so exciting, man. Who's winning this? Who's taking pole? It could be anyone. I mean, Leclerc could still get it. I think it's Leclerc, Norris, or Verstappen, though. I don't think... you haven't missed pole yet. Oh, you missed a pole. Okay. Yeah, African. You're like 10 minutes behind. Not even now. Maybe not 10, but I don't know if you're live. Welcome back. If you just try to reload, yeah. You're probably here now. Yeah, that's about the. I think it's like a 15-second delay, something like that. Q3 just started. Q3's been up for a while. I completely lost it. There we go. It's my time right now when you hear this is 5:40. Leclerc lost 3/10 to Max in sector 1. Oof. 5:30 left. For me now. 5:25 left. I'll put on a timer later. Yeah, so your stream is like 40 seconds behind. Sorry if I'm spoiling it. You might want to be on a slight delay then. You might want to be on a slight delay. Yeah, you're like 40 seconds behind me. So maybe pause the stream for 40 seconds and then continue. Yep. True. I know mine's behind a few other people as well, because I've seen people pop up in chat with like Nico, and then Nico got P1 like in a second. I should rather know what was going to happen. I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right. They're about to go out now. That sector 1 from Verstappen is crazy. Actually crazy. 3/10 on Leclerc. The fact that Perez is not even in this is tragic. $4:30 now. I don't know how fast I get the message though on in the YouTube chat. When you said that I was on 4:20, but it might be a 10-second delay on the stream. I don't know. Again, I haven't looked through all the setups on the YouTube stream, so I'll have to get that fixed before the Monaco one. I'm gonna look to do. I'll probably do a deadline stream for Monaco. I peaked at like 150 viewers. That's way more than I've ever peaked at before on Twitch. Yeah, 152 viewers peak is crazy for the first stream. Honestly, unbelievable. Alright, everyone's going out. 3:30. Do you think Norris is going to push so hard he ends up in the wall? Let's see. Please don't speak like that. I'm also a Norris man. I'm unjinxing myself, okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm unjinxing myself. I'm running Norris right now. But I mean, him putting in the wall wouldn't matter. He still set a time. You wanna kill me? I'm playing catch up. Leave Norris alone. I'm playing catch up. Alright. Warm up laps. What do we think? I think Verstappen's taking this. That car is way too fast in Sector 1. You already lost Stroll. I've lost Bottas too. But yeah. Yep. Don't forget about Piastri's potential impeding Leclerc. We'll see. We'll see. What's the order here? We have RB, Ferrari, RB. She's praying. Here they go. Boom, Sainz. I know there's a V-carb ahead. Ricardo's first out, I think. Both Hülkenberg and Ricardo are pretty far behind. 23.4 for Sainz first sector is pretty bad. That's 0.3 behind Verstappen. Not an improvement for Leclerc. I don't think that's pole for Leclerc then. That's almost 3/10 behind Verstappen. And not an improvement from Leclerc. I think Leclerc is not taking pole here. Damn. Tsunoda was faster at sector 1. Ooh, Sainz is 5/10 behind. Leclerc fastest in mid sector, but it's not that much. It's not by enough. Ricardo puts it P8. No, Verstappen, please! Please stop! 23.4. Brutal. Sainz P5. Yeah, not fast enough. Leclerc doesn't improve. Slower by a 1/10. Well, is it Verstappen or Norris? It's probably Verstappen. How good is Verstappen's second sector? That's what it's gonna come down to. Oh no! No, he goes fastest in sector 2. That's their slow sector, man. Come on. Oh, Verstappen's so cringe. Yeah, it's Red Bull. It's Max. It's Jover. It's Jover. Oh, it's Jover. Piastri fastest in sector 2. But there's no way. There's no way. Oh my gosh. Norris had a good sector 3 though, but it's not enough. Piastri? 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 Little Oscar? Little Oscar? Little Oscar? Oh, above Norris! He gets Norris, and that was not an improvement in sector 3. He could have got a Verstappen, man. I mean, McLaren looks good, but good session, good session. Max is ruining all the fun. I agree, Thomas. Ban Max from the sport, honestly. That's difficult. Like, Perez not even in Q3 and Verstappen first. Though, if you're holding Red Bull right now, I think I'd be feeling pretty good about myself. Piastri's probably getting a 3-second demotion, so probably starting P5. Behind the Ferraris. So Norris probably starts P2 then. Yeah, what the hell, Max? I don't know how he pulled out. That second sector from Max was insane. And that first sector. Damn. God damn it. Oh well. Piastri, yeah, Piastri's ahead of Norris. But Piastri also might get a grid penalty from impeding Magnussen in Q1. So I'm guessing Piastri's gonna start P5. The Ferrari's P3 and 4. I'm happy holding Norris though. If Norris gets P2 and no one else has a blinder, then he's probably taking driver of the day. So I'm happy as a Norris owner. Not that happy as a McLaren owner. Maybe the play was probably to keep Red Bull racing, and then instead of switching Stroll to Ricciardo. Decent lap. We'll see if Piastri gets the penalty. I assume he will. If that doesn't get a penalty for impeding, I don't know what will. Yeah, Norris owner should be happy, I think, over Leclerc. Sorry, racing. But, I mean, you should definitely be happy if you're a Red Bull owner right now over McLaren. I don't think anyone's running Red Bull McLaren constructor. It's either Ferrari McLaren or Ferrari Red Bull. So I think most people with Red Bull should be happy. Piastri decent lap is really funny, to be fair. That's really, really funny. I can't be bothered to watch Verstappen sign a bunch of things in his interview. He's always first. Yeah, I'm closing that down. Let's check Twitter. Anything fun here? Anything fun here? Verstappen takes pole at Imola. Yay! All right. Oh, sorry. Let's move this back. Back to this spot here. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end the stream now. My throat is completely gone. Thank you for all the questions, all the engagement. It was really fun. If you haven't liked the stream, like it now, because a big number makes me feel good. So yeah, no, honestly, it's been incredible. That this stream was really, really fun. I'll probably do one next weekend as well. These deadline streams have definitely been fun. I'll set up some things so everything works better next time, and I'll make sure the chat is up from the beginning and all things like that. So subscribe if you don't want to miss. I can't speak anymore. If you don't want to miss the next stream, subscribe so you get that notification for it. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting there when I go live. I promise I won't forget that next time. And also I'll have the usual content now. A transfer plans video talking about IMOLA, all things like that. And we'll see where we go with the team from here. Again, ignore this second team. Hold up. Ignore this second team. It doesn't exist. This is the team. Norris looks good. Imola looks exciting. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll be tweeting about it live. I won't be doing a watch along for the race, unfortunately, but I'll be tweeting about it. So follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to YouTube, like the stream. Thank you so much for hanging. All of you, a few of you have been here since the start. That's like 3 hours, so that's incredible. So thank you, Racing is Epic, African Beautyist, Thomas Silva, Nixie, and everyone else. If you've just been lurking here, that's fine too. Alison Gomez, if you're still here, you were here for a while. Celtic, if you're still here, you were here for a while. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video or on the next stream. So thank you. Bye.